Yeah, Frank is. Shit. Neslo. Oh. Oh, am I lagging out or something yet? What's going on here?
You need to take the delay off the stream. Hardcore, someone died outside my local pub. Just fuck.
We gotta start making this weird questions related to the shows that people like just get Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Starting to think. Who else do we have? Oh, I had this in my head even earlier today.
I have it right here.
Type it in the Skype chat. No, this Skype chat.
Well, let me type it up first and then copy it over. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a dip, but we gotta start making these questions a little difficult.
Oh shit, the UFC's on. the wrong answer. Just you find one.
I don't watch the
You mean you don't watch proper sports?
Who doesn't know who I am? Come on now. Everybody knows who I am.
33,000
I don't know who
people
you are.
know who I am.
All right, Jared. There's the full list.
Nice.
Yeah, how them botted followers treat you, dude.
Pretty good, man. Ben and Burbeck just sent me a message on Xbox Live.
Wait, he sent you a message on Xbox? What did he say?
Yeah, he said, how are those followers? Got my freaking room power fixed today, so now I have a light.
Yeah, what?
Dude, I freaking, like 2 days ago, I was drinking some coffee after work, and just had it on my desk, and I went to grab it, and I knocked the entire cup over. It's a full cup of coffee, and I have an outlet behind my desk, and it went, like, pretty much directly into that outlet. It shorted out my whole room, so I had to replace the outlet. Oh, man. Brutal. Like, you don't know how much you enjoy having light until it's gone. Like, honestly.
Yeah, I saw you.
I sat in the dark for 2 days, and I was like, this is awful. I don't know how people did it before electricity. Candles could not freaking do that much.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. You were like, "Fuck!" Just spilled coffee all over my desk.
Dude, I was because I have my Xbox sitting on my desk too, and it literally went all completely around my Xbox. I was like, dude, if my Xbox is ruined after this, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Yeah,
So,
especially after you just got the game.
I'm looking at my division right now, and the person in first place has 77 wins, and he's still in platinum.
Yeah, I know, dude. Like, that's why, like, the original placement is so crucial. Like, you literally need to, like, that's what you have to take most serious is, like, your first 5 games. You have to win them all.
Well, I won 4 out of the 5 and got put in gold, and then I didn't have a choice that I lost because my team bailed on me. So, but I won 3 or 4 after that and got moved up to plat, and I think I've won 3 and lost 1 so far.
I'm only ranked 91 in mine.
Yeah, I'm right. I think I'm like 88.
I have 5 games that I've played. This is my solo, though.
Yeah, I haven't done team yet, so. Guys, if you haven't read the rules down below the stream, please do that.
If you ask for mod, you're probably not going to get it. I can tell you that right now. I will mod you if I feel if you're important enough to me. How about that? I'll say that to somebody. Be important to me, people. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, oh no.
Why is the intro not going? No! Oh, there it goes.
Fail.
All right, what is up, ranters, and welcome to the Weekly Rant. Tonight, we have the infamous, the legend, the professional coach, in quotation marks, the BossNasti. A lot of you thought this is going to be a roast fest again. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be a roast. We're having on here. He hit me up. He has some solutions he thinks he can offer to the community. He just wants to discuss the whole league play, the score streak, stuff like that. We're not going to focus on score streaks tonight. We frickin' talked about that for 3 hours on Thursday. We will talk about him a little, of course, tonight. We're having Neslo on as well. A lot of people told me that he has some good viewpoints and stuff that he can set across. So you want to get BossNasti in here? Am I the only one that has him on?
Nope, got him.
All right,
Yeah.
You want to bring Neslo in here too?
Yeah, might as well bring Neslo in now.
As I say, I don't have Neslo.
What's up, Justin?
Hey, Jared, how you doing, bro?
All right.
And I think we have Neslo as well now. Neslo, you there?
Yo.
So
Alright.
we're gonna give the mic over to Justin BossNasti Silver here to start it off with. Many of you already know who he is, so he said he has some interesting things to talk about. Do you want to start off with league play, score streaks? What do you want to talk about?
To be honest, whatever you guys would like to start out with first. Are we doing cameras or no cameras?
It doesn't matter.
You can turn your camera on if you want. It doesn't matter.
But yeah, start it wherever you'd like, buddy. What do you have in mind? What can we do to make it better?
Well, I guess if I was to start off on a first area, I did actually get a chance to at least go back and listen to last night's. I think it was last night's or the time before or the night before's rant, and I did take some notes just for some areas or whatnot that I know you guys talked about. And I know the first one I had written down was with Rambo. This was around 12:20 for anyone, of course, who wants to go back and listen to it. And I know one of the things he talked about was that he said that there's no competition to determine whether or not score streaks is or not a good idea. I know what he also added and said that he hasn't seen an increase in viewers or awareness yet, or really anything regarding an increase from score streaks for league play or just in the eSports scene in general. And it was just funny to me that, or interesting more so that he said that, because when I look at where league play is currently right now, and I just logged off of BlackOps2, but after I just got done looking at it, and this was an hour ago too as well, there was about 5K people that were playing in league play. And of course the Champions series in league play, of course, focuses on more of the 4v4 competitive scene that we're more used to, more of the standard. But then you have the mosh pit, which is kind of a new thing. It's more of the casual competitive. And you ended up seeing that there was at least around a 25 to 35% increase in that series compared to the Champions. So I was just a little thrown off when he said that there wasn't an increase, because we've already seen an increase, even 2-3 days into the game already. And we've seen a ginormous increase in people coming over from the more core side of the playlist for Call of Duty, of course. And now they're actually interested in, ooh, what is this? Do I get a ranking? This is new to me. This is something that they've never seen before. And it's kind of a minor compromise, but there is an increase that is already occurring, and it's already happening in real time, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know Hex did touch on that last episode. He brought up a good idea about the emblems that to make it to where the emblems you earn, like say in the league you get placed into, that you get like a special emblem for that also carries over into the public side of it, to where people can see that emblem and be like, how do I get that? What do I have to do? And then you tell them, well, it's a league play, man. You get placed in this, you get specific emblems that transfer over into public to make you look like a better player, or whatever it can make you, whatever people want to think about that emblem. So, I thought that was a great idea. That's something that Treyarch could probably implement with no problem at all, with just an emblem transferring over. It's something that we could probably suggest to Vandahar and Hastro, since Hastro is the eSports, I don't know, what's his title over there again? The eSports advisor or something like that?
Yeah, I
I
believe
believe
so.
so. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, we're just looking right now. It's the start of the game, first week into it. A lot of people have their own opinions on it, looking with their own ideas that could possibly make it better, make it worse. So I mean, that's just what we're on here right now doing, is discussing these. We're totally unbiased. I just want to say that before we go any further. People get the assumption that we're biased towards one side or the other. We're totally unbiased. We're just here to put the ideas out there and discuss them in a professional and mature manner. We're not here to bash either side of the other. We're just here to discuss them. So with that being said, Justin, back to you. I mean, we talked about league play. Just real quick, let's talk about score streaks just real quick. I don't want to talk about this too long, but because we ran it into the ground. We talked about this for 3 hours on Thursday, but we didn't have you on here. Yeah, we didn't have you on here, so let's hear what you think about the whole score streak situation.
It's funny. Real quick before I start off, this little kind of funny story here. The reason why I even contacted you in the first place, Joe, was actually because I actually got hit up by one of my friends who is a new guy that I just met. I think I was telling you about him. He used to coach a team called, now I'm forgetting. I feel so bad right now, but it's JJVC, I think is his tag. Anyways, he actually hit me up yesterday. And we had this long 45-minute conversation really about all of this. And he told me that, hey, yeah, some of these topics were being talked about on the rant. And then actually a couple hours before I even came on, I had like another warm-up session, so to speak, of a debate with these other guys, one of my friends, unproductively in our Xbox party. And it was like he brought in like 4 or 5 other people, and we were all talking about it. So anyways, no, but it's great. So, yeah, okay, as far as the score streaks go, I know, at least from what I've been hearing, that people are, I don't know if I would say 50-50, but there are people, of course, that are looking at it more in a negative light. And this is what I have to say when it comes to league play. When I look at BlackOps2 being the only Call of Duty game thus far to actually implement so many esports features on the level that they have implemented them, and since we've never seen it before in any other game, they're already doing so much. It already does, in essence, so much for the esports scene for Black Ops 2. But even more than that, what people now need to realize is that your scene is very small. You are like a big fish in a small pond, and that is where esports is currently at right now for Call of Duty. The thing is that developers are designing games towards a casual audience. You know, you don't walk into a developer meeting room and say, well, hey, what esports features are we going to put in today? That's not the first thing that comes up. It's more of, hey, what prestige level can we raise to make the game more replayable for a longer period of time? It's looked at more from a casual perspective. And of course, that's kind of a norm. Everyone really knows that. I hope that would have to go without saying. But that is paramount. That's the foundation of how we have to look at the growth of where we're at for esports and for score streaks as well, and why the implementation of them, and why, in a sense, why we should keep them, maybe why we shouldn't. And the way I look at it is that we need to grow. You need to grow and then refine. A lot of people are feeling as though they need to refine in order to grow. And I'll quote Optic Hex on this. A great point he made last night when he said that he brought up the definition of insanity, right? And the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah. And that's exactly where the competitive esports scene for the COD community is, right? It's that big fish in that small pond. What the esports scene needs to realize, or the competitive COD people need to realize, is that developers are not making a game for you. They're making it for the casual audience. And so the casual audience doesn't need to change. They don't need to conform to the competitive side. You do. If there's any compromises that are ever going to need to be made, this is a one-way street. I want people to realize that. It's not a two-way street where, hey, these casual people need to adapt the competitive settings, right? No, it's not that. It's you need to adapt more casual settings because the developer is not making games for you. They're making games for the casual audience. So if you want to bring more casual people over to the competitive scene, you need to start compromising a little bit. Not saying a lot, but it's that whole idea of like when people started, when the recession came about, right? And how people started saying that, oh, well, human beings, we can't handle change quickly, right? Like we just, let's say, for example, someone came to your house, Prophet, and they said, hey, your parents are aliens. you'd be like, what the fuck? You know, who are you?
Right.
Who are you to tell me this, right? I mean, you would be flabbergasted. It would just be the most weird thing to you. You wouldn't even comprehend it on a rational, sane level. And that's the idea of where we're at, is that we have to feed them slowly. Like when people started saying that we're in a recession, did people come out and say we're in a recession? No, they didn't. You know what they said? They started saying, well, hey, the stock market is okay right now, but there's some things that are coming up that might actually end up towards a downward spiral in the future, a year later. Oh, well, now we're starting to see some of these downward spiral things come to light a year later. Oh, well, now the stock market is seeing a decrease, and there's the myths that we may be in a recession a year later. Oh, we're in a recession. But it took 3 to 4 years or a couple years before people started using the word recession. And that's because they had to feed human beings slowly. And that's really and once again, that's the exact example that I'm using here for esports, is that competitive players need to realize that the best thing that Vondahar and Schreier could have ever done for you is to put league play in. The best thing they could have ever done for you is to put score streaks in. The best thing they could have ever done for your growth is to add ladders. You know why? Because what that's now going to do is that's going to get everyone on this same page of recognizing what one global universal leaderboard and ranking system is. Very similar to what we see for League of Legends. You don't go into League of Legends and see different leaderboards for kill-death ratio, or who has the best accuracy, or who has the most kills, or who has the highest score. No, you see one universal rating system that it goes off of a true skill or an ELO rating system, and now you're starting to see that for league play. So do I feel that score streaks need to be kept in? Without a doubt in my mind. I mean,
I know we have Neslo here, and he has a very strong opinion to this whole score streak issue, because he's a competitive player himself. He's got a team out there. He's trying to, play as much as he can right now, get his team out there, possibly pro status in this coming year. So Neslo, I know you're a very opinionated individual. You come across, you like to get your points out there. You're very enthusiastic about your own opinions. So I'm gonna give the mic to you right now. Hear what you have to say about these score streaks.
All right. Well, the first thing that I'm going to say is, this is temporary. This isn't something that, has already been announced is going to be yearly with the score streaks and the equipment and things like that. That being said, that doesn't make it right. And a lot of the stuff he said was correct. This game is made for the casual player, and we do have quote-unquote developer support. But I feel like League Play is a contradiction. As a player, I thought they put in League Play to bridge the gap between a public casual player to get into competitive players. Or competitive play. That's not what I don't think it's not doing that. What it's doing is getting competitive players to play pubs. Like that's the similarity. Like, to me, League Play is the exact same thing as a pub, just a 4v4. So like you're taking a casual player that happens to hop in a League Play with his friends. I don't think that's introducing him to competitive play at all. Like, I don't see the concept behind that.
Well,
what
do you think they should do then? Do you think we should just totally go back to what we've been doing for the past 3-4 years, or should we try to adapt?
Should we just go back to no exposure rather than a little bit?
No, what we'll say is like this. I want League Play. I'm not saying I don't want League Play. I want a competitive rules. Now, BossNasti just said, it's a one-way street. We have to change for the casual player the other way around. I don't believe in that. Not because they outnumber us. They outnumber us 100 to 1. I get that.
A lot more than 100 to 1.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump in real quick. But it's not. We have to appeal to them, dude. They're the ones that bring these competitions in. Like, without them, without the casual players seeing it and everything and understanding it, we don't have a platform to expose ourselves on.
But the casual player is the casual player. We can't force people to enjoy competitive Call of Duty. Like, that's the first thing. We can't force it down their throat. But, with Hex saying, insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again and keep, expecting a different result. Is the rule set the problem? Like, is the rule set something that's a fault?
Well, you just said that we can't force competitive down people's throat, but essentially that's what we're doing if we try to go back to what we've been doing for the past 3 years.
Exactly.
We're essentially trying to force our rule set and everything like that onto the public's opinion of the game. Like, if we have this chance to add in score streaks and change up the rules a bit, shake the boat a bit, to bring in more people and to introduce the game to more of the public based fan set, then I mean, why not? Why not give it a try? I mean, Frag Cup 4 is going to have score streaks. So here's
what I think. No matter what, Frag Cup 4 is going to have awesome viewership, and it's going to be an improvement, and it's going to make Fwiz or whoever decided to use score streaks look like a damn genius. But I think even with our rule set, the old rule set, with everything, not everything banned, but a lot of things banned, or even just a few things banned, like Moho said the other night, I think the viewership would still be better. I think it should be the other way around. I think we should have used...
We're not really talking about viewership here. Like, a lot of people misconstrue it.
I'm sorry, my stance on it, I don't see a problem with the score streaks. The score streaks are fine. It's some of the equipment in the game that's breaking it and making people play like rats.
Yeah, well, here. I'll give you guys an example, right? In CTF, I told Golden Boy to say this on the show the other day, and it's so true. I want to play Optic, right? I want you guys to get me in a match against Optic. I want you guys to give me a flag cap and give us a UAV, and I want Optic to win the game. It's not going to happen, especially in a map like Aftermath, right? There's a middle lane, left lane, and a right lane. You give my team 4D, up a flag cap, and you give us things like Guardians, there's no way. There's too much to handle. No matter how good that team is, they're not capping our flag. It is a snowball effect. As soon as a team caps a flag, there's no way a good team's going to lose. It'll be 1 out of every 50 games. Like, it is that one-sided. And yeah, the game just came out a few days ago with a broad statement, but I really stand by that statement. People that have been grinding League playing CTF, they all ran into this problem. I know Quantic, they've been doing this as an example too. All the shock charges, all the Bettys, the Guardian. You have to down 4 players. You know some of your players are going to die while you try to pull that flag. It is impossible to win when you're down in CTF. Period. That's a problem. And another thing, search and destroy. You use shock charges or Bettys or anything like this, right? You're going to know what bomb site they're at. You can put it down by the bomb. They still have to blow it up. You're going to know what bomb site they're at. You need to extend the timer, number one. But you're going to know what bomb site they're at, so it's going to defeat the purpose of search and destroy. Search and destroy, one of the key elements is surprise. You know, trying to think. You don't know where your enemy is. You're going to know exactly where they are. What's the point of search and destroy?
And that's what I was talking about. It's not necessarily the streets that are broken. It's some of the equipment. You know, if somehow we could take out like the Bettys, like just like the attack insertions are out of it now. Why not take out the Bettys? Why not, or weekly Bettys even? Why not take out the shock charges and stuff?
It's the whole system itself. It's like, are we trying to redefine competitive Call of Duty, or are we trying to redefine what the word competitive is? Two people running around with RPGs, seeing which one could shoot it better. That's competitive. Like,
in some people's mind,
joke.
It could be.
But that's not what competitive Call of Duty has ever been.
Competitive is what you perceive it to be, though.
Well, let's look at history. Let's look at history right now. So right now, before Call of Duty Black Ops came out, the highest attending event was EGL for any Call of Duty game, and it was 112 teams or something like that. Now, that type of attendance is not going to be very attracted to anybody else but EGL or the tournaments that have been going on right now. I mean, UMG's biggest attendance last year was 24 teams. That's not growth at all. We have to somehow appeal to the bigger audience, and not necessarily for viewership, but for attendance. I'm sorry, but MLG or anything like that, any event is not going to pick this game up if they consistently get under 100 teams. Like what? The biggest turnout for Black Ops 1 was, what, like 70 teams or something like that? It might have gotten up to 80 or 90, but it wasn't...
I want to point out a couple of things you just said.
Okay.
You just said, the biggest turnout in Call of Duty, competitive games was EGL last year.
Yeah.
Number one, that means every year it's gone up, right? Number two, you just said that the event with the biggest turnout was the event with the most rules, aka Deserto. Is it the rule set, is what I'm saying. I don't think it's not the rule set. It's like, I did a survey, right? I actually went into Search and Destroy, which most people, you can't be in party chat. And listen to this. I couldn't do it for too long. It's not even my job to do this. And I asked them, which one would you rather watch and which rule set, right? 2 of them said, out of 10 people, or something like that, 2 of them said they would want to watch public rules and everything being used, period. Everything that the game gives them. 3 of them said they didn't even give a shit. The first person I asked, his gamer tag was I'm Too Cool 1234U, said he didn't know what MLG was.
I'm too cool.
He said he would watch it if he knew what it was. He didn't know what it was, and he said competitive rules are needed. This guy didn't even know what he was talking about.
Well, yeah, we argued that. I mean, it is exposure and advertising and marketing, and of course.
Another player said, I would play with everything, but I can see competitive players abusing the overpowered stuff. In a lot of good players' eyes, there is a lot of overpowered stuff in this game.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that, but Vaughn made this game. He likes the game. He made it, of course. Of course, he likes the game. He wants to see this attempted. He wants us to try it out. He is willing to possibly advertise and market this game, but if we dumb his game down so much that he doesn't even recognize it anymore himself, then why is he going to try and keep supporting us? I mean, we need developer support. Everyone's agreed on that. That's the only thing this community's agreed on in the past year is that we need developer support.
All right, but is developer support making us change? Is that developer support? Now, I feel like people are starting to be dictators. Like, whatever happened to the players deciding the rule sets? Like MLG, right? You had the pro forums where they decided what gets banned, what doesn't, and then it went to Kill KC. Why can Fwiz just go and say, you know what? These are fucking rules. You play it or you don't play. Why do you got to shoo players away when there could be a different way? I know it's a free tournament. It's for $10,000, which is not a joke to a lot of players in this community. But why do you have to dictate the rule set? Why aren't the players deciding what they play? And you know what Golden Boy said yesterday or a couple days ago? Believe it or not, it's a very ugly true statement. Players are replaceable. That's not a good attitude. It's true, but it's unfair. Like, bottom line, that's just not right.
Why life is unfair, bro.
But
life isn't fair though.
players make the community, though.
No, viewers make the community.
You need to have players that have a fan base, though. You know, you take Fragment
Yeah,
and you say Optic.
there are thousands and millions of players out there that play the game, but
Not competitively.
Not competitively, no. And that's what Vaughn and Treyarch are trying to do right here by having this own league play thing, and then having the rules similar to where if one of these pub guys decides to click on that league play and he comes in, he can still use the classes that he already knows. He can adjust appropriately to it. He can use that tac mask. He can use all the shit he loves, and he can come in and play in a competitive format. And it's bridging the gap. I hate to say it, but it is the start
For
of the bridge.
us. For us, though. It's not for them. It's for us. They're forcing change on us, not the public player, is what I'm saying.
Okay, you just
But,
said it's not for us, it's for them. We are
It's for the we're not the
right
public
now.
player.
I know, but we right now, we are the 0.00001% of Call of Duty players out there right now.
But we're the
We're
community.
trying to
We're
grow.
what competitive Call of Duty is, though.
We're trying to grow. And if you have to change a little to grow and you don't like it, then you can leave. I mean, that's what it's turning into right now.
All right.
Like,
Good point.
please play Frag Cup 4. That's all.
Oh, I will.
Like,
See, this is another thing.
everyone is going to play Frag Cup 4, and then after thousands of people and players and everybody watches it, and they see what score streaks are, how the rules plan out, and if they don't like it, and everybody hates it, even the viewers themselves, and it doesn't grow anything at all, it doesn't bring more players into the competitive setting, then of course there will be changes made.
There's so many assumptions that were just said, though. Number one, what makes you guys think...
all that anything is right now is assumptions.
Lord.
That's all anything is.
But what makes you guys think that public players want public rules? Like, what makes you think that they don't get mad when they fucking get killed by a shotgun or things like that as well? Like, a lot of reasons why I could stand up for and say, as a public player, I used to be a public player, one reason why I played competitive Call of Duty is because I was done dealing with all that bullshit, all the extra, the shock charges, the bouncing Betty C4s and shit like that. What makes you think that they're not trying to escape from that? You know, like, it's just an assumption, right? This is what I was trying to get earlier. Why didn't we use our rule set for Frag Cup and then see if it didn't improve, and then we make the change? Because no matter what, Frag Cup 4 is going to have awesome viewership with or without the fucking new rules. Because it's a new game, BlackOps2 is hyped more than ever, a lot of people are playing it, just broke the sales record, people are going to watch it because it's grown every year. Call of Duty eSports has grown. And that's what I'm saying, even without the new rules, people are going to watch it. But it's going to make people look like fucking geniuses. That it's going to have great viewership, and they're going to say, oh, it's because of score streaks, it's because everyone's watching. It's not going to be because of that. It's not going to be the main reason at all.
The Call of Duty esports community has grown very slow, though. It hasn't been a fast growth. It's been a fucking inches and crawling growth. And this is kind of the do or die year of competitive esports for Call of Duty. So something drastic needs to happen.
I'd like to jump in real quick and see what Justin has to say about this.
Yeah, dude, just feeling the button anytime, dude.
I got you. To be honest, it just seems that there was just so many points that were talked about, and it's very difficult to kind of just focus and refine yourself on one point when there's like 5 points being brought up in literally like a 10-word sentence. But I guess to focus on the score streak part for what you said, Neslo, you're more than welcome to believe that score streaks is not a factor or may not have been the majority factor for why sudden increase in playership or better yet in viewership or just an improvement for the esports scene. But at the end of the day, it is. And league play has shown that already thus far with Mosh Pit. Once again, you have more people playing Mosh Pit, which is more of a casual competitive playlist for 66 team size style than you do on the 4v4 champions. And it's been that way for the past 3-4 days since BlackOps2 came out. So there's already been an increase in the esports scene. And we can already see that the casual audience is enjoying it even more so. I mean, I haven't heard any complaints from anybody. I haven't seen any Twitter rages from any casual people talking shit about Mosh Pit. Maybe I'm just not following the right people. That could be it. Maybe I'm just not on the right forums. But to my knowledge, I haven't heard anything. But what I have heard is a lot of people complaining about the Champions playlist, which is obviously a little more effective to the specific competitive scene. So score streaks definitely are a reason, and they are a factor for the growth in numbers. Will be viewers once we start.
It's not even fair.
And one tournament, but it is a fact because Mosh Pit. All you have to do is look at Mosh Pit and look at the numbers of people that are playing that.
Dude,
that
league play is not what competitive Call of Duty is, though. It's a pub 4v4. They don't know our rules. They don't know the old rules. They don't know with everything being competitive and skillful, not being banned and stuff like that. You're just saying they're choosing one pub over another pub. That's what I'm saying. We don't know if these casual players are coming over because they don't know what old competitive Call of Duty is. We're the ones changing it, not them.
No, I agree. But you also have to understand that, motherfucker, they don't want to know. That's what you're not getting.
You don't know that, though. We never had a league play.
Here's the big picture for you. They don't care. They don't want to know. You know why they don't want to know? Because of attitudes like yours right now. I'm not saying that you're like a bad individual, but your attitude will shun people away. It's going to turn people off. It's gonna have them going from an e-boner to a flat non-boner. That's exactly where they're going. Excuse the kind of poor analogy, but that's exactly what it is. They don't care. They don't need to care. They don't need to come over. But you know what? They are interested. And with the Mosh Pit series and the activity and the attention that's been getting so far, trust me, they do care. And they are interested. Because there's never been a ladder system before that has actually allowed players to put the awareness out there for themselves. Of course, yeah, it could definitely be updated a little bit and done a little bit better. But if they weren't interested at all, and and casual players never wanted to take another look at competitive play, you wouldn't have anyone playing the Mosh Pit, but they are. So that not only is a factor to
hold on. They would still be clicking the league play, but then when they go into it, and 75% of the class that they love to use in public play is banned, they're just going to go right back to playing.
What makes you think they love to use it, though? Like, I'm not saying just ban everything.
They're using it, obviously. You just attested to that.
Because they're playing league play. They got to be playing league play for a reason.
And I can attest to that because you just said that people are using bouncing betties. How can you say they don't like it when they're using exactly what they would most likely
use? Because it helps them win. Because it helps them win. You think Quantic likes playing the way they play?
Whoa. Everybody just calm down.
You think Quantic likes playing 4D with 8 bouncing betties and 8 shock charges? No, they like to win. That's it. It's not skillful doing this. This is nothing I wanted to talk about. Putting all this shit in the game, it lowers the skill gap between good and bad players. Period. That's not skill.
See, that's confusing to me because that's now like saying that adding more champions to League of Legends is making the game less skillful, and adding more runes and more masteries and updating that constantly once a month is making it less skillful. Actually, people would completely disagree with you because it makes it more skillful. Adding more diversity allows to test exactly what you are able to do as an individual and as a team. And any League of Legends pro player or competitive player would tell you just the same. They would actually lap their asses off at you, in front of you, in your face, and then they'd probably tweet about it and make a bunch of YouTube videos about it too, just to beat the dead horse with a stick. Because at the end of the day, they would look at Call of Duty, or you can even look at Counter-Strike, you can look at StarCraft, you can look at any other game that applies more strategic in-depthness and more diversity and more variety than Call of Duty or a game like Halo or even Gears of War. And they would tell you, wow, you guys have it easy.
Well, you want to know something different between all those games?
That's a reason, though. But that is a reason. And people have said this before. That is a big reason why you don't see these games getting more viewership or more attention. That's a factor.
I want to read this real quick. Clayster made an excellent tweet yesterday. It was a twit longer tweet. It's a long one, but he talked about the whole score streaks and bouncing betties and the shock charge and everything. And it was really interesting to read it and his thoughts on it, and I thought it was a great tweet. So I'm going to read this off real quick because it does have to deal with what we're talking about right now. So this is what it is. He says, I got a thought on the current issues of bouncing betties and shocks. Hear me out. Right now, everyone is saying that most of these random things need to go. Let me create a timeline for you. At first, everyone plays regular stuff until they realize how powerful these things are. Second, people start using them. Third, people start countering bouncing betties / score streaks with flak jacket. Fourth, people start countering shocks with tactical mass. It would eventually get to a point where just about everyone would be using both of those perks. If this became the case, then what would the point of using bouncing betties shock charges anyways? Fifthly, this would drive players to not even use the bouncing betties and shock charges if they are just getting directly countered anyways. Players would start taking these things off their classes in favor of gun attachment / other perks. 6, this would in turn stop players from using flak jacket / tac mask because there are no nades to counter. This would create a choice the players would have to make. Some might use the nade / equip, whereas others might use the perks. Some might abandon them altogether since only 1 or 2 players on the other team are affecting them and use lightweight / marathon. This would create the meta game that Call of Duty lacks. This is why COD gets so stale after only a year. There's no diversity, there's no meta, it's the same class with the same guns, playing the same spots, doing the same thing over and over and over. You guys are all seeing this from a short-term perspective. Imagine the meta game that will arise from all this and allow our seasons to be longer than max 1 year. If anyone has played / seen StarCraft from the beginning, you know how overpowered 90% of the shit was, or how much unknown usage the units had. So many things were thought to be stupid and take the real mechanics out of StarCraft, such as taking the real gun skill out of COD. And many of the old StarCraft BW pros were pissed about the changes. This didn't make the game a bad game, it just made the game more to prepare for and more to strategize for. Think about it.
No, I mean, that hits the hammer right on the head.
I thought that was an excellent tweet. I mean, we are...
Right.
Okay.
Did you read Parasite's tweet, that long-ass tweet he had? It was kind of similar to that?
No, I didn't.
What it talked about was, Ego on the show. He really reiterates the fact that everything has a counter, right? Everything has a counter. Parasite's tweet pretty much says, well, guess what? You have to fucking die to counter something. So you're giving someone a lead, which just makes more of a snowball. I actually like that tweet, Glacier said. It's a very open, I guess not short term, I guess you could say, down the road viewpoint. But I wanna get back to something about lowering the skill gap. I don't care who you are. If you plant a C4 on your flag or something like that, and you just sit by it and wait till someone gets on it and blows it up, is that skillful? Does that take a skill? Like what I'm trying to say is,
does it take skill to run?
Does it take skill to? Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, I know. Real quick, Prophet, if you don't mind. Wings of Redemption. He actually said this, and you might remember this Prophet when Wings was on your guys' show. And no, I'm not going to quote him fully, but I will quote him on this, and he made a lot of sense. You can't deny this. He said that isn't it just as skillful to lay down a claymore and run into it just as much as it is to properly position it? And you have to look at it from both sides of the spectrum, because he is right. It makes a lot of sense. Sure, someone can lay down a C4. Sure, someone can lay down a bouncing Betty. But just as Ego said, there is a counter to everything. Sure, it might change up the pace of the game, and yes, it diversifies the game. And yes, I agree, Neslo. It does take it out of the norm from what the majority are used to. But at the end of the day, it gives people something new, something fresh, something recurring. And just like Clayster, I believe, if I'm saying his name right, made the tweet about the long tweet, the good thing about that, too, as well, is that, the meta there actually, in a sense, kind of will be a meta. I believe, I don't know if that's kind of what Clayster's endpoint was, but that's what it seems like, is that there's finally now going to be a meta. And the meta can almost always be changing, because, sure, he can do those things, like Clayster said, where 3-4 points down the road in his tweet, he said that, people will be using this and that. But once you get to that stage, then people might be like, okay, well, hang on, everyone switched from using this, and now no one's using this anymore because everyone's on this mentality. Why don't I now go back to using that? And then it goes back to the counter, and then people change it. And it just seems as though Black Ops 2 now has the ability to be very similar to League of Legends, where it's ever-changing.
Yeah,
and I think that was probably Clayster's main point. And that's something that's refreshing. That's something that Call of Duty's never seen before. And so, yes, that is going to improve viewership. That's going to get more people from the casual side to come over. And, yes, score streaks are going to be a factor for that. And that's something that no one can disagree with. You can't sit here and tell me that you're not going to have more casual players and the esports scene growing even more because of the fact that score streaks are in it. They are. We've already seen it, and it's going to continue to grow. And this is my point. I'm not saying that score streaks have to be in forever. I want to make that clear. What I said initially when I first started, my little say-so, is that you have to grow the scene and then refine it. What you're trying to do right now, Neslo, is to refine the scene while growing it. Definition of insanity. You need to grow the scene and then refine it. It's a lot easier to get everyone on board, competitive global settings, like you were saying, when you have 500,000 people in your community compared to 5,000. And you need to grow that. You have literally, once again, the big fish in the small pond. That's what the competitive COD scene is. You need to grow it. Compromise a little bit, not saying a lot. Do it for a temporary amount of time.
That is a lot.
To grow the scene, and then you can refine it. But you need to grow first and then refine second. You cannot refine because you're just shunning people away.
We're not compromising a little. Like we're talking about we're playing pubs competitively, and like one thing, everyone loves that little habit of comparing this to League of Legends and StarCraft 2, two competitive communities that are much more successful than Call of Duty is. And there's one thing I've noticed between casual players between those three games, right? StarCraft 2, they play to win. League of Legends, right? Public players, they play to win. Call of Duty pub players, they don't play to win. Not many of them. That's one thing I want to bring. It's all about the KD. So it's like, are we trying to reach an audience that doesn't want to be reached?
It's like that.
Who doesn't want to be reached?
People that play this game play to win. If you're going to play it, you don't want to win. You're going to enjoy losing.
That's
all the
bullshit.
time.
People don't play Call of Duty pubs to win. No way.
No, I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, I'll tell you right now,
to be in the seat of a competitive gamer, before you got into competitive gaming, did it make you upset to lose?
Yeah.
Then you were fucking playing to win.
That's the competitive player, though. We're talking about, like, the casual player.
You weren't
though.
always a competitive player, though.
But I always had the competitive nature in me.
Well, so do most people. Yeah, I would say the majority of people have a competitive nature.
Anybody wants to win.
Neslo, I'm an amateur player.
Oh my god, you don't go to school. I don't know. Go ahead, Jeremy. Just go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Neslo, I'm a casual player. I tried to get on a competitive team. It didn't work out, so I just play for the fun of it. When I lose, I rage harder than anyone because it's so damn annoying to go into these games and play with people that just don't care. I want to win. It's not that I have that competitive spirit. It's because at the end of the day, that's one more win on my profile. And that means more to me than, a KD or losing.
Well, that's the thing. I was just about to say, how many people in pubs, I play a lot of pubs, man, and how many people say, yo, what's your KD? They don't ask what your win-loss ratio is, dude. They ask what your KD is. That's how players are described. That's how they're personified in public matches. It's not by their win-loss ratio. They don't reiterate the win-loss ratio. It's all about the KD.
But that's because you've never asked them. I mean, asking them what their KD is completely different than asking them, hey, do you like to lose every single game you play in Call of Duty when you get home?
KD is more important than win-loss ratio. So
yeah, but you have to understand, we're not talking about KD. What we're talking about, and you're straying away from the topic, is that do people want to win or do they enjoy losing? And at the end of the day, I guarantee you, you can go, I can go, we can do a poll on it if you want. You can go ask any single person you meet in matchmaking. And I guarantee you 99% of those people, if not 100%, that you ask, hey, do you like to lose every single match that you play in Call of Duty when you log in? They're going to say no.
Boss, dude, if someone's going 50 and 10, if someone's going 50 and 10, fucking getting all the kill streaks in the game, he doesn't give a fuck if he loses, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he does.
No, they don't.
I do.
They do, dude.
Yeah, they do.
I play with people all the time that they're like, why the hell is it that I go so damn positive yet my team can't do shit and I end up losing? I mean, it happens. I see it every day when I get on. It's actually happened 4 times to me today alone. That's why I got off of Black Ops.
I see players all the time that go like 50 and 2 and lose, and in their eyes they're winning because they're destroying.
How do you know? Do you see the game through their eyes? Do you ask
No,
them
because I hear them talk. I hear them all talking about it, man.
Yeah, but did
What
you
do they
ask
say?
them? I mean,
I don't, they just talk shit, man. Like I'm telling you, as a pub player, their egos are based off their KD, not their win-loss.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to win. I have never met a human being in my life thus far that I've met from Xbox Live that told me on a daily basis, oh man, I can't wait to get on Call of Duty today to get 10 fucking losses. Like that is my dream. Damn it, I've never heard that in my life before. I don't know if you have. And if anyone else out there can link me to a video of someone publicly proclaiming that they love losing, matches all day long, and whatever
what
game
I'm saying,
they play,
what I'm saying
you know
is-
what? They'd be the first.
What I'm
I've
saying
never
is
heard
them going 50-5 is winning to them, no matter what the result of the
Okay,
actual game is.
no, that's true. But once again, getting back on topic, we're talking about, do people want to win matches in league play? Yes, they do want to win, regardless of what the settings are from them coming in and playing Mosh Pit or them coming in and playing Champions. Yes, everyone has their own idea of what settings should be in there. Without a doubt, I agree wholeheartedly. And yes, I can understand that you guys or maybe some of the competitive scene does not like some of these settings. But what you cannot deny, what is unjustifiable, is that the scene is growing because of it. And it's going to continue to grow. And the best way you do that is by running tournaments the same exact way for the settings that are played in matchmaking. You know why?
Yeah.
Because it establishes a common denominator.
Dude,
it establishes a consistency. And you need a consistency. That's exactly what League of Legends
This
is
isn't
doing.
consistency.
Hold on. I want to address the chat right now. Look, yes, the YouTubers care about the KD, but go watch the race right now. You got some of the biggest YouTubers in there. They get pissed off when they lose. Honestly, most of them can't even get a decent KD right now. I've been watching that thing as much as I can. They don't. They go even or negative more than anything that I've seen, and they get pissed. And why do they get pissed? Not because they didn't mention KD. Like, man, dude, I fucking suck. We're losing. They're pissed because they're losing. Like, yes, of course, KD is important. That COD is KD. I'll say that right now. It is. But also, it is winning and losing. You go to win. You play to win. No one plays to lose. I'm sorry. It's just no one does. I don't know how you can say that.
But I'm saying is players don't go into the game saying, "Man, I need to win this map." They say, "Man, I need to do good in this map." They're like, that's what I feel a pub player's mentality is. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. It's just my opinion.
I understand that, but their mentality is ultimately irrelevant when it comes to their awareness of esports. When it comes to their awareness of, hey, awesome, this is league play. Let me go try this shit out.
No, it isn't.
This is. No, it is. Their mentality on whether or not they care about their KD or whatever else it may be is completely irrelevant, because when they go to league play, you know what they see? They don't see KD. You know what they see? They see a ladder point. That's what they see. Ladder points.
Thing that's wrong,
and that is the global ranking system that is going to be commonly identified with everyone that plays league play, and that's what they care about.
That's actually factually wrong, because league play actually affects your kill death ratio on your profile. That has been found out. And when a player that cares about his KD is going double negative against
are there leaderboards for
KD
match? Are there leaderboards for KD?
Yeah, there always has been.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Okay, and I mean, are those leaderboards going?
It's true. It's true. They do carry over throughout the entire game.
But,
it affects your overall.
But KD leaderboard isn't going to affect, at the end of the day, where you're going to be or what people will look at you as entering into a tournament. That's the bigger picture. The bigger picture is you have ladder points. People can now go on leaderboards to see, hey, wow, here's the best players and best teams in the world. That now creates more content and more storylines for tournaments. No one's going to go on the KD board and say, oh shit, entering into the UMG tournament, this motherfucker top 10 has a 8.735 KD ratio. You're never going to hear that. So once again, KD leaderboard's irrelevant, completely pointless. People are going to care about the ladder points, because that is what is globally and universally understood, and most likely what commentators are going to be using for casting tournaments or maybe their own little private endeavors. And that's the big picture. The big picture is going back to, hey, what are we going to do to bring more people over to the competitive scene? And Vondahar, he hit it right on the head.
Okay, all right. Putting pub stars in league play, them getting fucking smashed 20 caps to 1 against a good AM team is really going to want them to play competitive Call of Duty. I'm sorry. That's true. That's so correct.
What did you say, one person? What did you say again?
I'm saying taking public or casual players, them clicking league play, having them play somebody in a placement match that's like an amateur team, a good amateur team, a pro team, and then losing 20 to fucking 1 in CTF is really going to encourage people to fucking come watch competitive play.
They'll do that if you play with our rules or their rules, though.
Well, hang on. Neslo, that's a great point. That's a great point, though, from Neslo. And this is actually, if you don't mind, I'd like to touch on that next, which is regarding the league play matchmaking searching, or how the coding is going. And yeah, that is a big issue. I'll tell you this much. I went to go play a couple matches of league play, and I got matched up against a couple teams of 4 and a couple teams of 6 when I went to play Mosh Pit and Champions. And yeah, I'll be honest, that was a complete turnoff to me. That shunned me away to stop playing for a little while. And then I came back to it a couple days later, and it happened again, and it shunned me away again. And yes, that is an issue. And that was actually one of the reasons I also wanted to come on here to talk about that, because really, from what I've noticed, you can search as an individual, a party of 2, a party of 3, 4, 5, or 6, and you can get matched up with really any of the combination of those 5 or 6. And really how it should be, or an update, an improvement that they can make to League play. When I look at what really needs to be improved right now, right out of the box, there is one thing that is a priority in League play above all else. Everything else can stay, even not staying forever, but temporarily, yes, it is going to be a good thing for the esports scene to see score streaks and to see more things being allowed. We could potentially get into like a ban 10 system or something like that I know Golden Boy and I kind of thought of, very similar to what you see for League of Legends banning, and that's a different topic. But just for the League play real quick, for the matchmaking searching, how it should be, and this is exactly what people hopefully would, I want to say get more on board with, is that if you solo queue, and you search as an individual, you should only get matched up against matched with 5 other individuals, making so you have 6 individuals total. Or you can search as a party of 2, and then you get matched with 2 other parties of 2, making a combination of 6 for your team. Or you can search as a team of 3. Yeah, or you can search as a team of 3, and you get matched with another team of 3, making 6. Yeah. Or you search as a team of 6, negating no searching for teams of 4 or 5. That's exactly how it should be. Well, and the same thing applies for champions.
What I came on here to say is no matter what, Call of Duty has grown, even if it's been a little bit every year. Now we have a great game ahead of us. We have a pick 10 system that we actually, it will support if we use everything. It will support the pick 10 system. I will say that. But I'm saying is, people are going to look like geniuses with this fry cut with or without score streaks because 80%, literally on the survey, 80% of the players are unhappy right now. But you know what? They're still going to play because it's their passion. I'll still play no matter what the rule set is. But that doesn't make it right. I feel like the players are unhappy and they should be voting what they're actually playing first. And it can grow either way, with or without the score streaks. And APOC even said himself, who I'm pretty sure is pretty good with business, is he said this is the easy way out. Like, what we're doing right now is being the easy way out.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, you're either going to do it this way, or you're going to go back to what you were doing and get nowhere.
It's been growing. How are we getting nowhere? It's not like
but you have to understand, you are
we're taking a risk we don't have. It's a risk we don't have to take.
But you have to understand, you're slowly, very slowly growing. And, one good showing at EGL, that's awesome. Props for hitting 10K viewers. But that was a one-time thing. And it needs to be more consistent than that. And what's going to allow you to be more consistent than that is opening up a door and saying, hey, let's let a little bit in. Let's see where it goes. Oh. Let's play it for a while because now you're appealing to a larger...
I think it's about the advertisement. Honestly, like Treyarch and Activision are going to be more willing to advertise and market their game rather than advertise and market a game that we totally dumb down and they can't even recognize it anymore.
Dude, this league play thing is it, man. I'm telling you, even with our rules set, their advertisement, that league play option by itself is going to grow us.
No, it won't, because people still won't know what MLG is. They won't know what UMG is. They won't know what
it'll take longer.
The whole thing is getting the tournaments out there. Like, do you see the type of PR that Riot puts on for these tournaments for League of Legends and shit like that?
They put it on the fucking home screen when you get on the game.
Because it's their game. They're supporting their game. And Call of Duty is kill streaks. I mean, it is. I'm sorry. It's pubs, it's kill streaks. People play COD because of that. Okay, I understand that. I'm not arguing whether it's competitive or not. I'm arguing that the developers and the companies behind their games are going to be more willing to put money into marketing and advertisement for their game that they made, not for a game that they can't even recognize when they themselves go to look at it.
A prime example is Griffball in Halo. You guys are like Griffball. You really are. Because Griffball's not that big. A lot of people know about it. But of course, y'all might be bigger than that. I'm just comparing it on the same level of that. Griffball is almost a completely different entity than what the original game was designed for, just to add on to Jared's point. And, they might be big. Sure, they might have a ginormous community. Sure, they might be at E3 and some other big expos because they have a really big following. But at the end of the day, they're not as big as they could be compared to if maybe they changed some things up and maybe made it more Halo-esque, more standard shooting. But at the end of the day, what their entity is obviously completely different than refining it more minusculely compared to what you guys are doing. But at the end of the day, once again, excuse me for using that so much, but you're definitely going to not only grow from this, as I've said countless times, but On top of that, you're now going to allow people, once again justifying and adding on to what Jared said, you're going to add more developer support because more people are going to be like, oh, wow, everyone is now playing the same game, which goes back to what Riot has done with League. You want to know why Riot and League were so successful?
I got a question.
Because they came out with, just give me like 60 seconds here. What reason why Riot and League are so successful? Two primary reasons. One, they came out with one map and one game type to start, which created a common denominator for what you see in tournament play now, and that put everyone on the same page to understand what was playing in tournaments because they were already playing what was in matchmaking. Number two, they advertised everything on the client interface, which, that's definitely something that's missing. I think Hex touched on that yesterday or the day before. I'll tell you, if they had that message of the day or created their own kind of interface where you'd have to look at everything or you'd have like this news list of everything that's going on in the Call of Duty scene, and they promoted a tournament, instead of just saying, because I think Hex said something like they had like an MLG link or something like that in Modern Warfare 3 for the PlayStation, or maybe that was Golden Boy. And that's not doing enough. That's actually doing nothing. You need to promote a tournament by being specific. You have to give people words that they can read, not just, MLGpro.com. It has to be, hey, here's a UMG gaming tournament for $20,000 for competitive Halo 4v4. It's got to be specific, and then people are going to be like, oh my God, what's this? Let me go check it out.
I got a question to ask to everybody here, because one thing a lot of people said, man, we have dev support, and like this is a very broad statement, and this is what I'm gonna say. It might shoot me, playing a little devil's advocate here. Is doing what Vandahar wants us to do and him forcing us to change developer support, him making us play pubs. How is that developer support?
He's not forcing.
But I don't.
But he
know,
pretty much is, because League play is.
I don't know.
Matches.
Listen, hey, whoa! If you haven't been paying attention to Twitter and what he's been tweeting lately, you need to, because he even just tweeted out just now he's willing to make changes, nerfs, buffs to things. Just now,
pretty much treating it like
that's developer support, man.
Dude,
It's not. He's not saying that what we have in place right now, and I understand your side of it. I completely understand your side of it, and I've been a competitive player for a long time, dude. And I'm all about change, man. If it's going to make the game more interesting and more in depth, I'm all about it, man.
I don't know if it's going to.
But we don't. But what do we have to lose at this point?
I mean, the thing is that when Brian touches on a great point, you only have everything to gain from it. And once again, Vandahar is not limited.
Players being unhappy is not gaining anything.
Okay, but you have to understand, you being happy, then you going and complaining to other people does nothing for the community. If anything, you hurt it more than you help it. You want to know why the League of Legends community is so awesome? Because you don't have people going to Riot and saying, hey, F you, Riot, you need to fix this. No. You know what they do? They'll make a video on it. Same thing with StarCraft.
Yes.
You know how many people doing tests and they give feedback in a positive, constructive way? I'll tell you something right now. Your scene would grow 10 times more if pro players didn't shun people away. And because there are people out there who do this, and you guys are like very rude and very unprofessional, very immature to more casual people. I'm not saying you, but there are people out there who do that, and you shun more casual people away.
And
then with the settings that you try and create, you're like an isolated Japan. That's what you are. No one's going to climb your damn wall.
Okay,
we make polls, we get organized.
I'm going to go back, and I'm going to finish what I was going to say. But Vaughn isn't saying that this is going to be the final. What's in place now is not final. It's definitely not. This is a beta, a trial period. Yeah. Things can change.
It's temporary.
Things can change.
I'd be fine with the trial period if it wasn't in the middle of a $10,000 tournament, man. You have to
be pissed off at Machinima for that, though. That's not.
This is what I'm talking about.
It's not like Call of Duty. It's not like Call of Duty said, "Hey, we're going to release this," and then.
But I'm saying, what's in the right? Like, why do we have dictators making the rules of this tournament? Like, why are there dictators doing this?
You have to understand, they're not dictating anything. They're telling us what's already in place.
Listen. It's not.
How can you dictate something that is already in place? That makes no sense.
Justin, hang on. It's not David Bondahar and Treyarch going to Machinima and saying, you're going to be doing it this way. They're not doing it. It's Machinima saying they're going to go by what Bondahar's saying. They're giving it a chance, man. Just give it a chance. It's fucking 4 days into the game, dude. It's 4 days in.
Some things won't change, man.
It's 4 days in, man.
Yeah, I feel you, Brian. But once again, Nestle, you can say things aren't changing, but they already have. Just by opening up Mosh Pit series and allowing people to play in the same environment that people play in Champion series has already done wonders. You have no idea how big that actually is, because what you're doing, once again, you're slowly converting people, step by step by step. You're giving them pieces by pieces by pieces. Because once they come over and they start playing the 6v6 and they realize, hey, there's no tournaments for 6v6. But you know what? I'm playing the same thing that all these other competitive people are playing in tournaments that actually make them money. And all we have to do is just drop 2 players and make a team of 4.
Dude, okay.
That sounds like a great idea. I'm going to do that.
Then
But
let's play Team Deathmatch and Demolition and Kill Confirm. Let's fucking put the entire game on the circuit.
It has to be baby steps. Like you expect too much.
This isn't a baby step, dude. This isn't a baby step.
It is a baby step.
Telling competitive players to fucking play pubs 4v4 is not a baby step. That's something we haven't done in how long?
Yeah.
No matter what, the community has still grown if it's little.
Because you need to spread more awareness. This is exactly how you can do it.
Putting pub rules is not spreading awareness.
Vondahar's a genius. He's the Einstein of Call of Duty. He has done something for you that you can't even appreciate or see the big picture in. It's sad.
Okay. Because you know what? Are we failing to realize that one of the most big names in our community is their esports advisor? Why would Hastro go and put his name on the line if he didn't fucking believe in this stuff?
Did you not see what he just tweeted? He literally just tweeted today. He's like playing 10 hours a day, figuring out what has to go. All right, this is what I'm saying. If we're gonna have a dictator decide, you know what, someone's just gonna sit down and say, you know what?
Why do you keep using that word dictator? I don't like that.
Because the community is not choosing.
Hang on. First off, you misquoted Hastro. If you're gonna quote people, do it correctly. That's a very young and childish thing to do. Specifically, what he said. Hang on. What he said is he said 10 hours of league play yesterday, doing it again today, finding out what works and what doesn't, dedicated 100%. Right. He didn't say what has to go. So please don't put words in his mouth.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize for misquoting him. But this is what I'm saying. If you're going to have a dictator, and I'm going to go, dude, they got to be dictating what's going on. Have Hastro be a dictator, all right? We need to have some counsel.
If they're willing to listen to our input, then how are they dictating us?
I know.
If Wiz was listening to our input, we wouldn't be having these rules to begin with.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like what you're saying is that you just want him to listen to you.
But that's like
it's 80% of the community voting not to do this.
Check it out, though.
Is there a poll?
It's like
yes, 360
stop.
icons.
Fucking stop. Let me fucking talk. Shit.
I just want to see the poll.
No, that's like saying, okay, listen, that's like going to MLG and being like, yeah, your rules suck, you know? You should play by mine. They're not going to listen to you.
The players make the rules for MLG.
The players don't make the rules.
No, they don't. Killer KC has final say. I mean, yeah, they can give input, but they don't have the final say in what rules go into MLG. That was Killer KC for Halo. Anyone can tell you that.
Where the pro players posted on what they didn't like, and then they talked about it with Killer KC.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what's going on with us, man.
I mean, Golden Boy brought it up on last show that Killer KC actually said he regretted not implementing kill streaks into BlackOps2 too. So
yeah. I saw that.
It
was genius. It was genius. It would have done so much more for the scene.
One thing I also want to say: game battles. Right now in this game, right? Frag Cup, different rule set than game battles. Game battles, different rule set than the upcoming UMG 10 cave. And I talked to Jeff on Skype. He said we're not playing it out of the box like it's currently being played. Why are we separating, making all these rule sets? Then you have Deserto. You want to get bigger? How about we all have one thing going? Why do we all have to have different fucking rule sets? It just makes it more complicated. Wasn't there something about StarCraft 2 and a bunch of these different leagues getting together and, making, one system? Like, separating, each other's companies is not helping. We're not helping each other out by doing this.
This community is known for having a bunch of egos in it that do not want to work with each other. I mean, I've seen it myself. I mean, you know how hard it is to get a hold of people, just pros, to get a hold of them and ask them to come on here and talk and give their opinions on stuff, or maybe work something out to help improve the community. Dude, it's damn near impossible sometimes. You gotta, it's so hard. Just getting together in this, if UMG, if Jeff tried to get a hold of Sundance, be like, yo, let's try to get the same rule sets going. Do you think, who's to know if Sundance would give him the time of day, honestly, because technically it's in competition right there.
But I'm saying,
I don't know. They got something special over there. They do. They do, but we don't.
at the end of the day, I'm just a messenger boy for the 80% of the community that doesn't want these rules, and I'm pretty sure
80% of how many?
the community. I don't know.
Okay, bro. Okay, well,
Let's
do you
make an
even know how
official
big the
poll or
community
something.
is? Well, yeah.
Thousands? I don't know.
No, and listen, that's
I'm about to.
I wouldn't disagree that there's not a bunch of people out there who do feel the same way as you do.
The majority do.
Regardless of how many people do feel that way, you are still a big fish in a small pond. And if you want to grow faster, if you want to get bigger, if you want people to all be on the same page and be on board with everything, doing what Vonderhaar did with league play, putting in score streaks, allowing more items and more features to be utilized by everyone is exactly what's going to do that. Now, that may not have to stay there forever. It could just be a temporary thing. As Vonderhaar said, he's going to be changing things. He'll be buffing, nerfing things, making it very similar. That he's saying, oh, hey, we're going to adopt some things from League of Legends because you know what? They're doing it right. And that's great.
I even leveled off like Moho. Moho said, you know what? Let's put some of this stuff in, but some of this shit needs to go. And then people were
but you can't expect it to go within 3 days.
And I completely agree with meeting halfway with it.
Dude, so do I.
I'm not wanting you to think. I'm not wanting you to think that I'm fucking driving you into the ground, like saying no, this shouldn't happen, dude. I understand where you're coming from. I really do, but we have to meet in this middle ground. Like
we're not right now. We're not right now.
No.
It's definitely not. Okay, I can see. I can see how Vaughn is saying this is the way it's going to be for now. And I can understand that. It's a trial period, man. Things can change. But, we can't just be like, well, this is the way it's going to be now. We have to meet in the middle. And it's only going to take time to do that. We just have to work with each other. Just like his tweets are saying, dude, he's willing to listen to us. And he's willing to work with us to make it better for everybody.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, hey, look, if you want to count, Neslo, if you want to do some actual counting on actually who's ahead right now, it's y'all. Because if I count eSports features compared to features y'all had to give up, I would count codcasting, I would count ladders, and I would count league play. On the casual side, the only thing you guys had to put in was some of those attachments or some of the tools and items, and then score streaks. So if I'm counting correctly, it's 3-2 in favor of eSports. So technically, you have not sacrificed as much as the casual scene has. What
are you talking about? We're playing public rules. How are we not sacrificing anything?
Bro, but as far as the numbers
I'm talking about in-game,
you have not sacrificed compared to the amount that you are proclaiming.
Players aren't sacrificing anything. They're playing the same game that they are in public matches.
Which, if anything, that just hammers my point home.
Essentially, they are playing the same thing, but they're playing against people that are way out of their skill level.
Dude, they're not bridging the gap between casual players coming to competitive. It's making competitive players come to public. It's that they call competitive, dude.
That's impossible. It insults that's why they have mosh pit. How can you say that? They have mosh pit. That's why
we're wanting to change the idea of what is competitive at this point. Yeah, it can be competitive to have these things in there. It is possible to have these things implemented into the game and have it be competitive. Absolutely. Like I said earlier, competitive is what you perceive it to be. Anything can be competitive, dude. I can be like, who could walk to the fucking end of the street faster? It's competitive. Like seriously.
But it needs to be like this. The integrity still needs to be there. It needs still to be skillful.
There is no rules council, like, honestly. I don't know.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I guess people think there's a rules council now. I don't know.
Yeah, there's not. But at the end of the day, you're either going to decide one of two things. You're either going to run tournaments the way that league play is already set up, which you'd be retarded not to, or you're going to try and veer off from the norm and do your own thing, which is not necessarily going to get you as many people as it would if you ran what was already being played in league play. It's just a fact.
So what you just said is Vonderhaar's point of view is saying, you know what, I'm going to give you developer support, but fuck you, you're doing it my way if I do it. That's not.
No, but you understand he's not. I mean, it's like you're assuming that Vonderhaar came in with the mentality to say, hey, F you, comp community, I'm going to do it my way. No.
That's what he's doing, dude.
No, he didn't. He gave you options to thrive. He gave you tools to thrive. You're assuming
Yeah, I'm
without
talking
even
about
talking to him.
in-game,
You know
man.
what you're assuming? I mean,
talking about
that's
game
like you
rules,
watching a
not
presidential
features.
speech on Barack
Well,
Obama,
I mean,
and then
you guys, you're also assuming that Vandahar has the last say in what goes down. Vandahar still has the answer to
Exactly.
people. He still has the answer to the higher ups, Activision, all the stuff that actually put the money and actually give him a
You have a clue.
paycheck. So I mean, like everything does not stop at Vaughn. Vaughn is trying everything he can to help us out. He is,
Yeah.
and just continually bashing him on Twitter, like some of the shit I've seen lately, is totally just it shouldn't be tolerated, and that kind of shuns developer support away right there. I mean, if you have something that you want to bring up to Vaughn, like Justin brought up earlier, make a YouTube video on it. Show him how stupid
Be
it is.
constructive. Yeah, be constructive.
Yeah, I agree. Like, more people need to actually like talk about it and debate, not just fucking flame and be immature about it.
I think that's actually a really good idea. If you have these issues,
I have a video coming up. Listen, I have a video coming up. It's going to be the Aftermath CTF of my team playing 4D camping. It will be impossible for any team we're playing against if we're up to win. It'll be up tomorrow.
Perfect. Do that, and present it with them. Be like, look, this is why it's broken at this point.
I'll do it.
That would be the best way to.
Yeah, but once again, that's
you're showing them the issue. You're showing them what's going on in a visual representation, and you're going to be like, hey, here's what we might be able to do to fix this. That'd probably be the best step to go and do it, rather than blasting it out on Twitter. Oh, this game fucking sucks. Oh, fuck kill streaks.
I actually like this game.
I'm not saying the game. I'm not saying you tweeted that out yourself.
I know. It's like the people that are like on my opinion, they go about doing it like in a terrible way.
Exactly, and we can't do that, dude. We're trying to exile the person that's wanting to support us the most.
It's like this. A good way of looking at it is like this. Like, let's say you have a job, and you may not like your job. Are you going to quit that job and then go look for another job, or are you going to keep that job and while you're looking for another job, which is most likely a better way of doing it? Wouldn't you say that's comparable to supporting these settings while advocating for improvements, buffs, or nerfs, instead of saying, hey, fuck these settings, and then move on? That doesn't make sense. So why don't we think about it from a higher purpose, a bigger picture perspective, and say, you know what? Why don't we all support these settings currently right now while we are advocating for updates, buffs, and nerfs to be done? Then we get everyone behind that, and that's exactly how it should be. No one should be coming out and saying, oh, hey, this sucks, this is bad, this is awful, this is terrible.
But that's not going on, dude. We're not supporting it. Deserto's not supporting it. They're already making bans and making their own rules.
No, I understand.
Frag Cup is supporting it. One event is supporting it right now.
Yeah, no, I understand. And every single other event that isn't doing what league play settings are at right now are a bunch of failures because they're ruining it. That's what you're doing.
But can we? But
you
can we?
Deserto failures. Like,
listen.
No, but they are.
Listen. Let me fucking talk.
Go ahead, Brian. Is that a ruler?
That's me fucking getting pissed off because I can't get a fucking word in on my own goddamn show.
Hey, this is my show, bitch.
Stop it. Anyway.
Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Anyway, why can't we wait until after this happens? Okay, let Frag Cup happen. Play the rule set. Let people play Ratty. That's fine. Then let Deserto have one of their events. I'm sure they probably listen. Let me fucking talk. I'm so fucking frustrated. I can't fucking put my words out right now.
I can't answer
It's like you were shocked that he didn't say anything.
Okay.
All right, give Brian the floor.
Let Deserto run their tournament with all their bans and everything, and let's see what the comparisons are between them. Let the things happen, dude. Just, I don't know. I'm so fucking frustrated right now. Like, just fucking let things happen.
Because what Ake said, you can't go back in time. Like I said, no matter what, Fry Cup is going to have huge numbers.
I like Aches and everything, but Aches is a bad representation of this community because of the way he acts.
But he's still a player. No, I'm talking about the idea. He made a good point, though. Like, I tried to make this point earlier. Fry Cup is using score streaks. It's going to have huge viewership. It's going to turn out nicely. I really feel that. And a lot of people feel but it's not going to be because of the score streaks, and we can't go back in time and say, oh, what would the viewership been if we played, the competitive rules? That's the problem. That's why I'm saying we should have played our rules first and then changed if the viewership and everything like that didn't grow the way we wanted it to grow.
No, that wouldn't
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
But the viewership. Okay, let me use MLG as
I
the
don't
example
think. I
for
don't
this.
think. I mean, all right. Go
Well,
for
the
it.
way it was for MLG, we got fucking dropped, dude. Out of there. Our viewership sucked. Our
Okay.
viewership sucked. You want to know what happened to Halo? Their viewership sucked. Out of there.
Yeah.
What do
It's
we?
because
we
they
don't
changed
have,
too much.
We don't have anything to lose. So why not let it happen?
Mm. I mean, it's not necessarily that you don't have. It's not necessarily that you don't have anything to lose. It's just that y'all have been doing one way.
No,
I'm sorry, I know you wanted to say
we
something.
have. Hold on, I just want to say this real quick. We have a lot to lose this year. Like, oh my God, pure evasive. What is going on?
Yo, what's going on, my dudes?
No, I mean like
Yeah, you have,
there's
like, a
shit
TV
coming
on
through
or
your
something.
mic. Yeah, bro.
No, well, real quick, while the Vazes is fixing that for a sec, I just wanted to say that at the end of the day, you don't really have. I mean, y'all might think you have a lot to lose, but
We do. We have competitive COD to lose this year. I'm gonna say that.
Well,
We do.
no,
We
yeah.
honestly have competitive COD to lose this year. This is honestly
I agree.
this
I
is the
can
do or
agree with
die year of
Yeah.
Call of Duty competitive. Like if we
Yeah.
don't try to bridge the gap and actually work and maybe try stuff out, try something new up, shake the boat a bit to bring in more viewers, more players, more everything, then we will die this year. Do you want to play Call of Duty after this year? I'm sure most of us do. I still want to be here after a year with the Weekly Rant and everything because all I know is COD. I don't know Halo or League of Legends or anything. COD is my niche. This is my clique. I know it. I know all the people in it. I love the people in it. I love supporting this community. But this is our do or die year. We need to just what's the word I'm looking for, dude? This is aggravating. We just need to accommodate a little bit to what Vandahar is trying to do with competitive COD in general.
Well, you know, Joe, that makes a lot of sense because I mean, yeah, no, I feel you on that. I mean, especially with the amount of esports features that have been put into the game, yeah, it does make it kind of a do or die situation. But the way I look at it, going off of that logic, right? Like, let's say that's the foundation for BlackOps2. If it doesn't work out, it's going to fail. I'm not saying it would, but let's just go off that foundation somewhat. Don't you think that there's going to be a higher chance of success to play tournaments and leagues to adopt what is already being played on a high or a more aware level, which is league play? Or do you think that there's going to be more success in changing that and doing it the way that y'all have been doing it before for forever?
I forgot.
I mean, I would think the choice would be logical. Let's do what has been put into the game because that's going to give us a higher chance of success.
I forgot to bring up a point earlier too, dude. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you know we've thrown around viewership and growth and all that stuff. Are people gonna want to watch this slow of a Call of Duty game? Because I'll tell you right now, with the score streaks and equipment, this game has turned slow, and I mean really slow. You're gonna see from that gameplay I post tomorrow.
Fast-paced doesn't mean that
it's entertaining.
Quality of the gameplay. Fast-paced doesn't necessarily mean entertaining.
Yeah,
If something is a little bit slower, but is more complex, I'm going to be interested in it.
Profit. Do you want to see me in CTF sitting in a window for 5 minutes defending my flag?
But you're assuming every single human being and every single player is going to be doing that. I mean, that's a big assumption.
Yeah.
Everyone's already doing it in league play, dude. Like
I
was
was just watching Nade Shot Optic Nation play before this, and I was entertained watching it. I mean, they were using everything. There wasn't not one time did I see them camping, and they were playing a decent time. I mean, there was like 2-1 or something. I don't know who they were playing, but I didn't see any camping or sitting in a window for score streaks or any of that stuff. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just thinking of one specific situation that could happen that will probably rarely happen.
I think later we'll see because only time can tell. You know, no matter who says what.
I mean, this Frag Cup 4 tournament will show a lot of what is possible to happen. And if there is a lot of sitting in windows, like you said, and camping flags with microwaves and shit like that, then yeah, I'm sure they'll be taken out. Because frankly, I wouldn't want to watch that. I don't think a lot of other people
that'd be
would
boring
want to watch that.
for me.
So
you have a lot to look forward to in Frag Cup, then.
I mean, you know, if there's anything I would add on, I just wanted to say, Brian, if you don't mind, I just wanted to say that if Call of Duty is its own unique entity, and to strip so much away from it and turn it into something entirely different is what takes away from what makes Call of Duty unique as much as what makes Halo unique, as much as what makes League or StarCraft or Gears of War unique. And keeping that unique factor into what makes Call of Duty, which is score streaks. You don't see that in almost any other game, to my knowledge, at least for console team-based shooters. That is something that Call of Duty has. It's something that everyone knows. That's something that...
I mean, it's just like how Halo left in the power weapons. Like, you could still go get that rocket launcher and that laser beam and shit like that.
But, like, one thing...
Okay.
But, pretty sure someone brought this up. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to keep bringing up CTF because, like, it's a problem, and it's going to be a problem. And I'm telling you, you guys are going to see this. And... you already get benefited by playing 4D, right? Because the opponent needs to find you, needs to kill you, needs to pull your flag, has to pick up the spawn trap, right? But now you're being benefited even more playing 4D because now you're getting kill streaks. Like, this snowball effect that we're creating in Call of Duty is just going to be so imbalanced, and I'm telling you, you guys are going to see it in Frag Cup.
Yeah, but
the thing is
you have to get the score streaks too, and then you also have to get up a flag on the other team. I mean, who's to
so
say
then we're playing first cap to win.
Yeah. You're assuming it's going to be played out like that. I mean, those are a lot of big assumptions. You're assuming that you're going to go and grab the flag, and then you're going to camp it in your corner of the map, and then you're going to allow your team to get put in the spot.
Everything on this show right now is an assumption.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I don't think that's
into the game, and let Brian.
What I'm experiencing.
I'm going to jump into this real quick. Evasive has been kind enough to be quiet and listen to this bullshit for the past 10 minutes. I want to let him say what he has to say real quick.
Alright. As far as I'm concerned, like I typed in the chat here a second ago. Is my mic okay for everybody now?
Yeah,
you're fine.
Alright. I was looking. I've heard everybody's points on all sides. I'm not, I am biased to the anti-score streak, of course. Being a coach out here and playing it as long as I have, and being on the scene, as long as most of us has. Like, it's a huge, huge thing for a lot of people, and I don't think a whole lot of people who don't, participate in a whole lot of tournaments or there's lots of pub stars with talent. I mean, I'm not even going to deny that. But at the same time, you can't just you can't push us aside like that when the numbers are just like, I can understand if it was 50, or 50, 49, something like that. Like, but when it comes down to 87%, you can't just ignore it.
But it's 87. I'm sorry, it's 87% based off of how many votes, though.
No, but not even that. Not even that. The poll was brought up before the game was even released, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, I will make you guys a bet. I will even put my PayPal account on it. I bet within a month, the numbers are going to be no less of a difference than what they are right now. And I believe that, and I heard your point about let's ride it out, let's see what's going on. I heard you on that, totally. But at the same time, if we're going to ride it out and hold it on, all that does is give that leeway room for comfort. And what that's going to do, that's going to end up screwing everybody right off the jump. We let the point be known. You guys had David Van der Haar on here, and everybody put their points out there. Although certain people came in here and acted a fool, made an ass of themselves. Bottom line is, we made our point so far, but there's lots of things coming up on streams where people aren't using the score streaks. There's tournaments now, like they're almost boycotting. And as far as I'm concerned, I think the pubs with the streaks, I mean, that's never been done. Like, it's been like without score streaks, without anything like that, and without all these counters and whatnot. I'm an intelligent guy. I would like to think so myself. I can counter these things with different classes, different equipment. You can counter these things, but at the same time, it's never going to be the same. Never. And that's what I don't think people understand. There's been people playing it like this for a long time. Yeah, Call of Duty after Call of Duty, there's always going to be new pub stars. There's always going to be somebody, some random amateur putting his name after another pro who was like 10 years before. It's always going to be the same. But the kill streaks or the score streaks, that's not going to be the same. And I just want people to take that into consideration and just realize that if something is going to be done, the community itself has to do it. These polls, these numbers aren't going to be so different in the future. I don't believe. I really don't.
You said the community has to do it, and we're not willing to do it. I mean, like, polls, like you just said, show that we're not deciding, is what I'm saying.
No, right, exactly. I completely agree. Completely agree. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah.
And that's why players aren't happy.
Nobody's listening. We're being ignored and pushed to the side. Like like I said,
But
we're being set aside.
But that goes right back to it's 4 days in, man.
You're right, and I understand that. But you're already making rules for something that's 4 days in. What how long does that take effect before we do something
Honestly,
about it?
I said this when Ego announced Brad Cup 4. I said that is the worst idea ever to have a big tournament 10 days afterwards because the rule sets and everything is going to be so fucked up and it's going to create such a panic amongst you children that it's going to divide this community. And look what it's done. It has. I'm a fucking fortune teller. Call me Nostradamus V2 because this shit came true. And it is a bad idea. And it's just we got to do it though. Foy's already said that it's going to be there. If it doesn't work out, how long is the tournament going to last? Going to last like a month or something? Then it'll get taken out possibly. We'll decide to take it out. Maybe Von will take it out in league play. Maybe not. But one thing we have to agree on is that we have to do it collectively in a mature and professional manner. We can't have 100 people, including a few pros, tweeting at Vandahar saying this game fucking sucks. Why did you do this? Get these score streaks out of here. Shit like that. It just can't happen. And
I agree 110%. And the way people handled themselves the last time that Vandahar was in there, that sure didn't make a good example, did it?
Yeah, no. Last show, freaking 600 people in here, and Vandahar is kind enough to come in because we had Hex and everybody on. I'm assuming, but he came in to chat, and right when he gets in here, everybody fucking hit the caps lock button. Let's roast Vandahar. Yeah, that's the greatest idea ever, children. Come on.
Because the person we had representing like our side, our opinion and the community's opinion was fucking Aches, and like that's not the best person to represent.
Right.
It's
just like, you got deleted off the list after that. That was just a bad rep, that was all bad. Despite
obviously Aches has a big following. I mean, it's obvious. A lot of people agree with him, and he's ignorant enough and loud enough to where people get behind him on things. And
it's not about disagreeing with him. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody agrees with him. It's just like how he says it and how he yells and acts like a child.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it on the show last time. He freaking starts yelling. He gets all emotional for no reason at all, and shit gets out of hand.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just as a player, I feel like it's just unfair, like Evasive just said. But we'll see in a couple weeks.
Even before the game was released, they did a hotfix and took some stuff out of the game, out of the competitive league that need to be there.
I got a question,
bro.
Yeah, I got a question. Do you guys think we'd be like, this focused on this topic and conversation if Frag Cup wasn't even in the mix? Because I feel like that's a big. Yeah, I feel like if there was no tournaments, like huge tournaments.
If there's no I just said that. Yeah, if there was no big tournament being played, being started next week with score streaks in it, this wouldn't even be a discussion around that. Everyone would be screaming with no score streaks, honestly.
Yep.
Well.
But
Von
and Treyarch and Activision want the game played how it's made. I'm sure they do. And Von is nice enough to support us and include this Codcaster feature and the league play and all the stuff that he's included into it to kind of grow Call of Duty eSports in general. And we're bitching about just a few rules. I mean, it is a big change. It is. And everyone is afraid of change. I mean, a lot of people are afraid of change. But not willing to give that change a chance before you start freaking bashing it is not the right way to go at it.
Look on the bright side. At least it's not MW3. I'm not even gonna pull punches.
It's not that.
At least we're not stuck with another copy paste.
It's not that like I'm so afraid of change, but it's just like there was a reason why the rules were the way. And I just want the competitive integrity and like the skillfulness to still show out.
I completely I agree with that and I respect that. But saying that these things are wrong isn't necessarily right. I'm not saying that I'm right with having them in. It's just how I feel personally is I'm willing to have the change in there, but I feel that some things need to be taken out. Yeah, and I completely agree with that. I think that changing up the game is going to be good. It's going to be good for us. And the way it was before, I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't what it could be. This is going to open the door for us to be where we could be.
I think we need a COD council, or like someone that really.
We do.
I mean, we've always said this.
I'm down with that.
We need a collection of some of the top pros and the top like big names in the community that support it, such as Hex. And we don't just need players in there. We need
COD
more.
Converse.
Yeah, we need more than
I
just
know,
players. Like just having players in there.
Exactly like Jeremy just said in the chat here. Vaughn said in our chat on Thursday, if you die several times to someone, you deserve to be killed by the score streak that they get. Improve, gain more skill, and come back later. That's exactly perfect explanation.
I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but friend Cheeto, he's the manager of 1E. He said I think iSeries is already taking a lot of stuff out as well when it comes to the score streaks and equipment.
Yeah,
man.
because with all of the freaking tension between it, there are going to be a lot of tournaments that go by what the players say because they think it's going to drive more of them to come to their events. I will say that right now.
Yeah.
And
To be honest, it's just disappointing, bro. Like when I look at it as the big picture, I feel so sad.
How many teams went to the last ice series? Like 32 or something? Of course they're going to do something different to shake to try and get more teams to come.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just unfortunate there's so many tournaments out there that are doing things so differently compared to doing it the same way that league play is and then getting more support. I mean, when you look at the big picture, you're going to get more support running tournaments the same way league play is than running it differently. I mean, that's just a fact. I mean, any developer would love for you to support everything in the game and taking things out and trying to do it your own way.
I just think like a lot of successful leagues in general, esports. I mean, even in life, like sports, it's just like the number one thing is to make sure your players are happy. I mean, you gotta still keep your players.
Yep, that's true. But I mean,
what's the COD community? What's the COD
that.
community without Optic or Envy or
I
any
can
of
agree.
these?
I can agree with that, but it's important to appease to the viewers as well. You know, players are replaceable, man. If somebody doesn't want to play in one way, there's 100 other people that want to play that way.
Yeah. And I mean, more people are going to watch a tournament with score streaks in it and with more things available to be used than less. And I mean, that's just a fact.
I agree with the adaptability thing, man, but I don't know.
All right, well, we'll find that out because that's not a fact.
No, I mean, it is a fact.
I don't think it's a fact yet. I mean, it hasn't been
what he said,
especially for COD at this point because we haven't had this before.
How much of a hit do you think the people in general, the COD players in general, competitive or non-competitive, how big of a hit do you think they would really take to have to keep their score streaks in club lobbies or you know, how big of a hit do you think that really is for them in order to keep a whole bunch of other ones okay in their separate own little area? We're already I guess not outsided, but we set ourselves aside in our own little cubby holes from the general play for fun population. I mean, it's a fact. If anybody can debate that, please bring statements to me. Take me on it. But we do set ourselves to the side of everyone else who plays COD. You know, these 14-year-old kids, 16-year-old kids, whatever. Right. Even the moms and dads and shit to play COD. Like, we are our own little group of people. And I don't know, man. That's going to be a heftier little chunk than I think people are really estimating right now. To be honest with you, and I'm not going to argue about the time, but I am going to argue the fact that it's going to have less of an effect on them than it will us.
So let's speak hypothetically for a second.
Sure.
Say Frag Cup does go on, and it's amazing because all the games are so close because of these streaks and stuff. It's just going to make the game outrageously amazing. Will it change your mind?
No.
Damn, that's ignorant.
I got a question.
Sorry, but that is.
There's no reason to even have a debate about anything if you're totally closed-minded to change. There's no reason to have a debate.
I am because there's so many of us.
There's no reason.
There's so many of us that are so stuck in playing the way that we've been playing, bro. It's like you're changing. It's changing a whole hell of a lot. If it's just amazing, I won't say no. It's not absolutely.
Well, I mean, you have to understand, score streaks have always been in Call of Duty.
There's
not really a change. It's just now they've enabled it in the league play.
I'm just
I mean, it's always been there. I mean, it's like you guys act like score streaks is like this new thing they just came up with. And, it's never been in any Call of Duty before until now. It's been there forever. Everyone has used score streaks or kill streaks at least once in their Call of Duty endeavors. But all of a sudden now, because they bring it back and enable it in League play, now everyone's freaking out. It's just, it's so beyond me when I look at all the opportunities that Black Ops 2 has been given and the sad, pathetic, just disgust in people not wanting to come together and band together for a bigger purpose, for the bigger picture, which is your scene is going to grow exponentially because of it.
In our eyes, competitive Call of Duty and public matches or public Call of Duty isn't the same thing, nor should it be.
We call it MLG pubs now. Just saying. We call it MLG pubs.
Oh, no, that's understandable. And I mean, of course, no one's saying that it's going to stay this way forever, but you can't deny the fact that your scene has already grown and it's going to continue to grow because of what League play has done for you. And yes, you can eventually refine these things. As Brian and Jeremy pointed out, Vondahar is already on board with wanting to make those changes. But your case is not going to be any better construed to him or to any other developers within Treyarch by going about it the way that it is now. It's better to support what is out and have everyone get behind what is out right now while you advocate. Doing it this way, by having all these leagues run their own different rules, you're only isolating the community even more. Because now everyone wants to run
all those rules revolve around one argument? Or have you been playing Shadowrun too long? There's one argument that these rules are all centered around, and that's score streaks. All right? I don't know what's been going on in Halo. I don't know what the hell's been going on anywhere else, bro, but it's that one thing. And if anybody else is bitching about a whole bunch of other stuff, you are mistaken. I'm sorry, because as far as the damage goes, you got nades to kill, you got assault rifles that actually do damage from range, you got hit detection that's better. There's not a whole hell of a lot to complain about it. So if you're bitching to be bitching, go bitch somewhere else. I don't want to hear it.
But when it comes down to Axe's main dispute was the whole bouncing buddies and shock charges. That's what I got out of Axe.
I didn't get nothing out of him yesterday. I didn't even pay attention to what he was typing in the chat,
man.
Well,
then don't make ignorant claims to someone in this chat when you don't know all the information.
I know that what I saw in the chat was, I saw a couple statements in chat that didn't really represent the competitive Call of Duty community.
Well, what Ace pretty much said was what
but he is
whose tweet was that you were reading before, Clacers? I mean, that's pretty much what he's talking about. His bottom line, people are going to use the Betties and people are going to use the shock charges. So you know what? People are going to run flak jacket and tac mask. And then it's like, so what's the point of the diversity in the pick 10 system? And that's pretty much what Ake's argument was.
Yeah, but Clacer goes.
That's a great thing.
Hold on, Clacer.
Yeah, and then he counters
that because it goes into change of the game throughout, so the game doesn't get stale after a month. Like honestly, the reason it got stale for MLG and the viewership went down is because people came back and it was like, oh, that dude's still using sleight of hand, dead silence, and whatever it was in Black Ops. Oh, and there's the gold FAMAS too that all of them use because the other guns in the game suck. Oh, this is awesome. I already saw this game. I don't need to watch it anymore. This is stupid. And they leave and go watch freaking magical shit like LOL where there's new champions once a week and shit like that because stuff stays diversified. Like people, humans,
it's always updated.
Yeah, we have an attention span of nil playing video games. And if you can't diversify it in a way to where people come back and they see something different, like every once in a while,
new people join.
Yeah, then.
But I think that's what Haggy. I think that's what Parasite. I think that's what Parasite was trying to say about like the randomness. Now, like that's why I really actually like Parasite's thought on having 3 set score streaks, and banning a couple things of equipment, and just settling.
What would you take? Out of the score streaks, or what would you keep? What would you take?
Well, they were saying,
like, what are you talking about? Classes? Are you talking about equipment?
Well, one thing that I kind of don't enjoy is that you can't change your score streak per class. No matter what class you have, your score streaks are the same thing. I don't really like that. But they were saying get rid of the UAV, get rid of the counter UAV, because they just offset. And I don't know, man. Like you got to read Moho's posts on what to ban, what not to ban. But they were just saying 3 set score streaks eliminates randomness. Because then it's all going to be about who's picking what, and hopefully you get lucky that they're not using it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole randomness.
And if they are, then you're going to have to die and then choose another class. But if you die, you might be far behind.
The setups, to even counter it, the setups have to be like you have to counter your own team and then have your team counter the other team and take wild guesses.
I mean, the best thing to do right now, currently, that whole 3-limit thing sounds so confusing and really just doesn't really make any sense at all. But a better thing to do would be, or really the best thing to do, if there was ever going to be something that would have been done, which would have been what Golden and I recommended, which was going to the ban system, adopting something similar to what League of Legends has, where each team and one player gets one ban, then you switch it, they get a ban, and you could ban a score streak, you could ban a weapon, you could ban a perk. That would be something that could, in the future, not now, but in the future, that, yes, is something that would work so much better because you might not get the same bans from every match. People might ban one thing.
That's what I was thinking too. Like
it's more strategy.
You know, not even necessarily into the league play itself. You know, we could even have these streaks and stuff in there, but maybe we could, you know, in our own tournaments. You know, say UMG's going to throw this tournament. What if they introduce like a banning system prior to the match? You get a ban this set number of stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, if every league said like, hey, we'll give you 5 bans or 10 bans, and they don't change anything, but they just add something onto it, that actually would be beautiful. That actually would be the best way to currently go about it right now, instead of limiting.
I think at this point that would be pretty good. I mean, obviously there are the set things that are going to be banned every time, but you know you're going to have that. But once other things are going to be used more often, and I don't know, people are going to start using other things. If you don't use the shock charge, okay, ban the shock charge. People are going to start using like Semtex or the motion sensor fucking grenades or whatever. You know, and then, oh shit, okay, that's getting too overpowered. Now what are we going to do? It kind of changes it up a bit.
Well, my whole view on this whole thing is basically why ban anything.
Hold on. Before you say anything, you look like a queer in your picture. Alright, go on.
You know you love it. No, but why ban anything? I mean, you all have friends that you try to explain, I'm a competitive gamer. Do you explain to them, oh, we can't use this, we can't use this, we can't use this, we can't use this, and they say the first thing, you know they say this, that's gay. Why don't you just say, hey, we just play 4v4. That's the difference. It will grow because it is relatable for them. Like, they can sit there and watch you play with everything that they play with. That's why YouTubers have more viewers than we do. YouTubers have all these viewers. They have everything, and we're always like, why can't we be this famous? Why can't we do that? It's because they have a game. They just go into a pub, and people watch, and they can relate to that. And now if we do that in competitive scene, they can relate to us. I don't care how hard it is to change. I don't care how whatever it is. That's a challenge for us competitive players. We got into competitive scene for what? To display a strong desire to be more successful than others. That's it. I mean, there's no other reasons. I didn't come into like, oh, I'm going to come in here to ban everything. I came in to beat other people. That's what I came in for. I know everyone. You start off in GB playing 3 frags on COD4. Like, you start off with some of the gay shit that people hate now. So that's how competitive it is. You want to be competitive above everyone else.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, just to add on real quick to what T-Coop said, I mean, that's definitely just a perfect example. Is, you know, when you look at what is already currently out there, once again, going back to what I said, you're going to get so much more support having tournaments and leagues that are using what is in league play than trying to change it. Going to what T-Coop said, to the YouTubers, to so many other personalities and big figures. Honestly, when has ever people like Wings of Redemption or other big YouTubers like that ever promoted an esport event that has been ran the way it's been ran previously? I can't remember. I don't know. Don't you think that they would be more inclined? Yeah, but don't you think they'd be more inclined to promote even more and advertise even more and maybe compete, regardless if they want to or not, based off what's being ran right now? I'll tell you that's a for sure 100%. So I mean, you want your scene to grow. You need more. There's got to be more influx. There has to be more openness and less limitations, and more people trying to just completely shave and thin out whatever comes out right off the box and play with it for a while. And
that's another thing too. Sorry to interrupt you there, but that's another thing is the fact that everyone sits here and is like, oh, we had to take all this stuff out. That's gonna make a team more like Optic. There's gonna be more dominating teams. What about the underdog? We all root for the underdog. What about that? I mean, you got to think about things like this. This is gonna change the whole outcome of matches.
Yeah, but
this
this is competitive Call of Duty. There's supposed to be a high skill gap.
Yes. Well, how is it not competitive? You're still playing against other people.
You pretty
How is it
much just said you like the
There's just more
underdog.
versatility.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you pretty much just said since the stuff we're playing with now is gonna make it easier for bad teams to compete.
I'm not
with
saying it's making it easier. I'm saying there is a chance. There's a chance now. There's a
There
small,
always has
slight
been a
chance.
It gives,
And-
well, you have to understand, it gives the opportunity. I think what Coop's really trying to say is that it gives the opportunity for a lot more teams to now enter the scene. Because
yeah, like,
now,
you know how many people are out there that could be the greatest right now, like that don't know about our scene. Like, there's still players out there being found every day. Like, you got to think about people that come out of nowhere. Like, it happens every time the game comes out. There's a new team that just comes out of nowhere. Like, who the fuck are they? They come out of nowhere. Who the fuck are they? Like, it happens every time a new game comes out, and this will make it a lot different. Like, this will just completely change everything.
Well, look, it's just like when you go to make a team right now in Call of Duty, and you're looking around, you mainly use Twitter, and you're like, "Yo, free agent, yo, let's make a team," and then you get hit up by these people that have like 10 followers, and you're like, "Fuck that dude, he's a nobody. I don't want to team with him." And then you get another one by like maybe someone who has like 800 followers. That might be bots and might not be, but he has 800 followers, so he's got to be good. So hey, yo, dude, let's team scrim.
Exactly, and
So
me and
now,
people know.
yeah, and I know this as well, and because that
who the fuck is that?
yeah, exactly, and like that made me like I tried playing, I tried making a team come to this, but I couldn't get anything going. No one wanted to play, so fuck it, I'm done. I'm probably not going to play at all now. But now,
So now that you have 30,000 followers,
yeah,
now
can I get a team now? I have 30,000 followers, please. Can I get a team? Anyways, but now if you bring it into the fact where pub player, like the score streaks and everything, like pub players can actually play competitive, and you can't find a team, you can actually go into a pub and maybe find that hidden talent. Like, you're not going to be so inclined to just keep trying to hit up the same people, not growing at all, but you might actually go out into the herd and pick that 10-point buck or something, you know? Like,
And the funny thing is whenever I started in COD 4, that's exactly how it was.
yeah, you
I
went into
understand your point
pubs.
there.
That's how I got into competitive. Freaking
That's how I got into the
AOX.
scene. I mean,
AOX, I
people
shit
picked
on
me up from
Prof
a
in a
pub.
pub, and he picked me up. That's what happened.
from COD 2, people picked you up from a pub. Like this Chameleon X, he picked me. He's not even around anymore, but he picked me up in a pub. I mean, that's how it started. Now it's not like if a kid plays a pub and you see him in there, you're like, that fucking kid's terrible. Fuck you. You're terrible. Don't even talk to me. Like, you have a huge ego. That's what another thing is about this. Like, you need to just adapt to this. This is competitive no matter what you do. Like,
No, I agree. And I mean, once again, that even goes back to my last point, which was talking about how, due to the fact that they added, after just adding Mosh Pit to League Play, eventually people are going to realize that, well, hey, there's no 6v6 League Play tournaments being ran, and all the money's over in 4v4, so, hey, why don't we just lose 2 people? Or maybe, I mean, because once again, there's probably a lot of people that search in Mosh Pit as a team of 4, a team of 3, a team of 2. So for them to easily be like, oh, well, awesome, there's all this money over there in 4v4. All we have to do is just make a team of 4, and we can go play in this playlist, and then we can start playing what's already being played in tournaments. And now you're adopting the League of Legends format, which is, hey, we came out with one map and one game type, and oh wow, what we're playing is already played in tournaments. And that's the conversion rate. That's the transfer ratio that you want. And it has to start with those baby steps. And them adding Mosh Pit, them adding League Play, and how they did it is the best thing that they could have ever done for Call of Duty.
kill me right now. I've never agreed with BossNasti ever until now. Sorry, boss. I had to say that.
Yo, me and BossNasti have had our differences, dude. But like, once you get through
His
and
bullshit,
argue,
prove it.
Yeah, once you get past, prove it. Yeah. Once you get past all of that shit, he has good shit to say, man. Like,
And he's funny fucking videos on YouTube with interviews at tournaments. Those shit.
My MLG Dallas interviews. Hey, you saw those? Did you see the Balls Deep series that I did?
Yeah. Yep.
You like those? Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty
The
funny, man.
Balls
Yeah,
Deep series? What the hell?
Like,
People
those
were
balls
walking
deep.
by in the middle of his interviews. It was funny. So.
Yeah, so
All right,
yeah,
sorry, straying away from that shit.
no, yeah. And I was gonna say, I mean, if you don't mind me just talking about it for a sec. So I know there's some people out there that might not know what I've been getting into recently, but I actually had the opportunity to go out to MLG Dallas, as some may know. And I know Jeremy knows this.
I know. I meant
And
to make up posters like if you cite BossNasti, please call this number. But I never got around to it.
yeah. But I went out to Dallas and I actually went out there with an opportunity to actually interview. I was on a press pass, and so I went around and I was interviewing people. I had a cameraman following me around. We got like 13 plus hours of content, and I went around and I just interviewed. I interviewed pro players, amateur players. I interviewed parents, spectators, fans, vendors, booths, eSports figures, and I gathered all the footage. And the link that I just sent in there is part one of my funny series. It's called Going Balls Deep, and what it is it's a culmination.
You would go balls deep.
Yeah, but it's a but it's a culmination of pretty much all the funniest moments from MLG Dallas, and from T Coop's laughter. I'm sure he probably enjoyed all the parts of it, and I'm uploading it all the time. Yeah, and so
I
did,
absolutely loved it.
yeah, and what I did is that I wanted, and then I have another series called the MLG Experience at Dallas, and a lot of people were really enjoying that. And what it is it's a 5-part series, about 45 minutes, and it's me just showing off what it's like to go to an MLG event, the people you can meet, the fun you can have, the environment for what it's like, and it really just shows off the entire experience. And then, of course, for the people who maybe just want to laugh and, fall out of their chair, that's why I made the Going Balls Deep series. And so that's what I've kind of been getting into, and I'd like to do more of it. I'd love to travel out to like UMG and AGL and do what I did in these videos, do interviewing, and then compile it and really just create more content, not only for the COD community, but other communities as well. And so that's kind of what I'm looking to do right now, trying to find out, how I can make it out to a lot of these other events and kind of be the one person to provide a lot of coverage. Just because there's not really people that do that. There's not people that go out to these team-based shooter tournaments and LANs and events and do coverage like this. So it's awesome. And like I said, I'd love to do more, but I'd love to meet more people from the COD community and, talk to them and get to know them and just produce awesome content for Call of Duty. And that's, like I said, just kind of what I'm trying to do. So hopefully maybe some people might like my work, and you never know. But sorry, that's just a side thing.
So back to the main thing is how everyone's like talking about this and how everyone's approaching all these so-called I'm gonna put quotation marks around that pros. They are not really representing us good at all. I mean, this is probably the worst thing that they could possibly do. You do not need to. We've been waiting how long, Diesel, for developer help, and this is what they do to. This is how they treat them. I'm just waiting for that tweet from David Vonderhaar that's just going to be like, fuck you guys, bye.
I'm done.
I mean,
you guys
like
don't
that,
appreciate anything, so I'm done.
You do not bite the hand that feeds you. You just do not.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, I just want to add something. This is a quote from Fliz. And I'm going to quote him based off of what he said here on the Deserto.net post he made regarding the Frag Cup 4 rules. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen this. But he says, I'm hoping we can get, this is the last two sentences of the insert. He says, I'm hoping we can get Treyarch to make the changes that best support not just our currently existing competitive scene, but support what it takes to make this game more global and open to all audience. He says that regardless of how he supports the score streaks and the league's play system currently, he does acknowledge that you have to support what it takes to make this game more global and open to all audience until those changes or adaptions can be made, which is the same example I provided earlier about how if you have a job, you're not going to quit that job and then go look for another job. You're going to keep that job while you're looking for another job. And that's exactly what needs to happen. You want COD to grow, leagues need to play and need to adopt the settings that are being played in league play. That way, what will happen is that you're going to have a higher conversion. More people are going to come over because now you're doing it like League of Legends, them coming out with one map, one game type. People are now recognizing and being able to be like, oh, well, hey, I understand what's happening now because I'm playing exactly what's being played in tournaments. And that's exactly what did it for League. And that's exactly what can do it for COD. Adopting these features is not a limitation. It's not going to create less skill. It's going to change it up. Sure, people could say it might be for the better or for the worse, but at least it's different, at least it's new, at least it's refreshing, and it's damn sure going to grow y'all so much more than where you're currently at right now and at the rate that you're growing. And that can only be a good thing. Then those changes, then those adaptions can be made. As I said, grow and then refine. And this can only be a positive thing. I'm excited for me to see league play in and what Vandahar and what Treyarch have done. And it's really just a blessing, them giving us all these tools and all these options and features to utilize for tournaments, for casting, and all of that. And adding in score streaks is going to add in just a newer level of diversity. All those balancing bettings and things that people are talking about.
And
You can
that's
hate
one
them.
thing I want to stop away from saying is like we're not adding score streaks. You know, like it's like people see it as like such a big thing. You're adding. You're just see it as the way of you're growing the community. It's not adding skill streak or whatever score streaks or whatever the fuck they are. You're just building the community. I mean,
No, exactly. Yeah, you're adding
this is advertisement. This is free advertisement, and it's the fact that they don't understand. Like, you got into competitive gaming because of, like I said earlier, just to be more successful than others. I mean, it's the sad thing is everyone's kind of strayed from that. Everyone's kind of like they're trying to make it a cookie cutter game. Like, oh, we need to make our own rules every time a new game comes out. No, we have to try other shit. We're never gonna grow because people don't know. If you explain to a friend, like I said before, again, they don't want to like, oh, why can't you use RPGs? Because this and this and this and this. They're gonna be like, that's fucking gay. They don't like that shit. They don't want to watch people use Forfamasa. They don't want to watch that shit. And it's just, it's ridiculous that no one's understanding that. And the fact that everyone in this community that's a competitive gamer is trying to be famous, let's say, or trying to be huge and trying to be like the most popular person ever and get a big name. But yet these YouTube stars are bigger than any competitive player we have. These YouTube stars are more famous than all the competitive players. And why? It's because they have a relatable game. I mean, they just film whatever they play in pubs, and they help kids get better in pubs.
All right,
Yeah.
so
That's the end of it.
Yeah, so no, boss. What I'm trying to say is like you just said, you know, people should be playing the league rules and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Well,
for now.
yeah, Vandahar right now is choosing the league rules, so it's like what you're pretty much saying is people should be playing Vandahar rules. Like,
Yes, yes, they
well-
should. They should be playing his rules.
that's what
Yes.
I'm saying. What I'm saying is a lot of players are going to be uneasy with Vandahar choosing competitive Call of Duty rules.
Dude, a developer helping us
Change.
in any way, I don't care. You
Yeah.
Change is scary. Change is scary.
It's gonna be
People
scary.
don't like change. Of course, if you're winning and you're fucking kicking ass at what you're doing right now, and somebody comes along and changes it, yeah, it's gonna be scary, dude. You don't know how good you're gonna do, but you don't know how good you're gonna do until you do it.
But like my argument is like he's not a competitive player. You know, he doesn't compete in these events.
Yes, but that's
Okay,
why
Hastro
he
is
has
there. That's why
Hastro
Hastro
there.
is there. Like, please
I
don't
mean,
forget.
I think
This is what I don't understand again, is I just said it like over and over again. It's not the fact that the score streaks and whatever his rules is because he's not a competitive player and he doesn't know them. It's the fact that it's going to bring more people. Like, you have to make whatever you play competitive. I don't care what you play. It has to be competitive. If you want to take shit out, go play GB. That's what GB's for. You can make your own rules on GB. But if you want to play, like, going to events and major events and grow huge, have stadiums, you have to have a relatable game to everyone. It has to be out of the box game. It has to be. You can't just fucking, oh, let's make our own rules and have a secret society. That's what we are. We're just
Yeah,
a secret
like-
right now.
Illuminati.
Yeah. Well, I want to add on, Coop, real quick. I want to add on because I mean, I just fucking ideas are flowing right now. So, but just to add on to Coop, that's I mean, really, that's the
Out
exact
of the
same
coop.
reason why you.
Yo,
see,
that should be
why
a
you see-
tagline. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that would be awesome. All right, anyway.
but the thing is when you look at games like StarCraft and League of Legends, they're so successful because they are relatable. Just adding on, justifying so much more what Coop said, is that they're relatable. You can understand what's going on because you're playing exactly what's being played in tournaments, and they were already good right out of the box. Why do you think games like Gears of War and Halo and Call of Duty have really never seen that high level of success? You know why? Because people change and they strip it down so much to where it is so different. For once, we finally have, or Black Ops 2 finally has the opportunity to be played the same way it is out of the box. So why don't we try doing what has successfully worked throughout history instead of continuing this road of insanity? I like that.
I wanna-
Did I rhyme?
I like that. I like that and everything. But
Nah.
Neslo, I know you have to. I know you have to go. You have to go play with your team and everything with score streaks. So.
Hey man, no matter how much I don't support it or support it, I'll always be playing, dude. You know, I think people understand
and
that.
that's the bigger picture right there. That's the
Okay,
bigger
okay.
picture.
I have to explain to this classics guy. He keeps saying we're not going to get more viewers. Dude, okay, classics, man.
Let me before you do that.
Okay.
Neslo, I know you have to go. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you leave?
Not really. I mean, I
Not
think
really.
I made my case.
All right. If people just loved your opinion on here, where can we find you?
At TG_Neslo.
All
I'll put it in the chat.
Peace
Yeah,
out.
it was good.
I love you.
It was good to meet you. That's all.
Thank you.
Anyway, back to Coop. I know you were.
Okay. So classic. You keep saying the same thing, like putting kill streaks or score streaks, whatever the fuck they're called. Well, it won't help the game. Okay. So you're telling me that no pub player or anyone that just grabs the game and wants to try to win, and they end up coming in league somehow or whatever, they won't know how to play if we keep kill streaks in there. They won't know how to just end up just playing competitive scene right then. I mean, that's a better chance than them finding. Oh, first they have to find GB, then they have to find out like Twitter basically now. That's basically what's running competitive COD right now. And they have to find a team, but then that will take forever because no one in the competitive scene will even pick him up because he's a fucking
I
random.
won't give him the time of day. 0 followers, man. You fucking nobody.
Yeah,
Get this stuff. Why are you bothering me? Get the fuck out of here.
So yeah, that definitely will help us. That will help us more than having an out of the game box and just saying, oh, we play the same game, we just play 4v4. That's so much easier than saying, hey, we ban this, we ban this, we ban this. People will get confused of the rules. Oh, our rules are this. We have this many rounds. We do this many time limit. The cap time's this.
We do it this way. We do it this way. They do it that way. Oh no, we do it this way. Oh no.
We have been begging for MW3. We're like, we need to get a universal rule set with EGL and everything. This is our chance to get it. This is our whole chance to do it. We just play out of the box. That's universal right there. Everyone in every single event can use the same exact rules, and no one will be playing anything different, and that will bring our communities together even more than anything else. EGL is with us, but they're gonna spray off whatever this I series is over there. Everyone needs to come together. We gotta stop breaking off and being our own little things.
You know what it is? It's going to be a lot easier to adapt and to change within than it is without, or I guess opposite of within or outside, which is
that's what I'm trying to say too.
That confused the fuck out of me.
It's like this. I'm sorry. Here, I'll explain. I know. Sorry. Apologies. But what I'm saying is that it's going to be a lot easier to support league play and change what's in league play instead of trying to create your own league play, right? Because that's what's happening. Everyone's trying to create their own league play.
Yep.
It's a lot easier to say like, hey,
agree with that. With you?
Well, I mean, that's just what's happening, though. Like, you have league play. You have settings that have come out, and those settings are prone to change, as Prophet and Jeremy pointed out. That's what Vandahar has said. But now, it seems as though with all these different leagues like Deserto, as I said, any league out there who is not running league play settings as their tournament settings is hurting competitive Call of Duty. That's just a fact at the end of the day. You're going to get so much more support from so many more people if you just run what is being ran. And I'll tell you right now, the people over at Machinima and Fwiz, whoever were responsible for, or Ego, whoever was responsible for doing that, they're fucking geniuses. You know why? Because they're already ahead of the curve. They are already out in front, and they're leading the way.
And, well, here's another thing I was going to add on to everything is how we've, like, Diesel, you could see the change we've gone through. We've gone from picking people up in pubs. We've gone from picking people up for their GB rank. I mean, that's a joke now, but we used to pick kids up for GB rank. Then we went through the phase of picking up kids if they had a trophy or not.
Good glory days.
If they didn't have a trophy, they were not getting picked up too.
I remember that.
And then we went through the phase of finally, we're going to go through, did he place at these events? What did he get at these PCLs and stuff like that? And the fact is now we cannot, that can be erased. That's limiting so much. Like right now, Mez is the #1 GB rank for BlackOps2. Who the fuck's gonna pick him up? No one's even gonna look at that. They're gonna be like, he's a fucking random.
Who the fuck
UMG Classic says, how do you introduce the pub player to LAN events? Well, obviously, if they're going to be playing the competitive, if
this is going to be advertisement through the fucking the
creators need our help.
That's free advertisement. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I was just going to say it's from league play, right? This goes back to what I was talking about before. Like, just for the purpose of already implementing Mosh Pit and allowing for more pub players or casual players, however you feel like categorizing them, are already now going to be gaining more interest in competitive play because now what the global universal ranking system is in Call of Duty for competitive play is ladder points, which is now getting you on an ELO rating system or a true skill rating system structure. And because of that, now these people are going to play 6v6, and then they're going to hear about, oh, well, hey, here's all this money in 4v4 play. Let me go try this out. And then what are the 4v4 people going to be talking about in Champions League?
Okay.
Oh, well, hey,
All right,
here's
can I
this
stop you guys
Hey,
there
let
real
me.
quick?
Yeah, I was gonna stop. Okay, go whoever that was.
It's evasive, man. So you're talking about a direct line from sitting in their mom's house or in their room playing their video game, playing some Call of Duty, to directly going to a LAN event because there's money involved. That's where you're mistaken. You lost me right there.
I agree with you on
You're
that.
gonna need
I
our
mean,
backing. You're gonna need our
basically, they would have to play. They would have to be in the scene for a while. But what I think he's trying to say is it's easier to do that than it is how to get into our scene now. And someone like if someone went through League, it would be easier if we had the out of the game and we played League rules and everything. We played all those score streaks. It'd be easier for them to be introduced to our scene than it would be if we had the rules in MW3 and all the past games, because they would have to go through those stages.
Well, yeah, I mean,
But
that's the bigger
To
picture.
another thing
you
is
know what would be
this
easier?
lunar guy losing interest. Losing interest, I mean, some people might lose it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have more people coming into our scene than we are going to have people leaving. All the pros that want to have this game, like the ones that actually want to stay, even the ones that are bitching, are going to stay. They're not going to leave. We might lose a few, but we have more gamers and competitive players that have stayed in this game than we did in the last game.
We have more competitive gamers coming back that have not played since Call of Duty 4,
Since COD 4,
Modern Warfare
exactly.
2, than we ever have for any of the other games.
Is that a fact? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is a fact. There's so many
I figured
players.
so, but I didn't see no
Yeah,
specifics.
I mean, we had a little bit on MW3 actually. Like we had a little bit, but then
A
they kind
couple.
of faded away. But this one
Now,
it's like it's coming back. I mean,
We have what? Fierce is back.
and that's a good.
we have
Sorry,
we
keep on.
have 4 plays coming back now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Sid Rock may have came back last year, but you know he's back into the scene now. You know, there are a lot of people coming back.
And
the EUs are coming over.
I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but should we play every map in every game type? I mean, to be honest, I was thinking about that to myself the other day. That's a little bit different. I mean, there is a lot of different games we can't play, so it would still limit it down.
Yeah,
But,
everybody that plays has that one map that they don't like. You know,
Yeah,
and generally it's
down there too much.
all the one map. You know,
Honestly,
obviously,
I'm with that,
I don't
bro.
think
I hear you.
maps should be limited down too much. I think the game types, like he said, the game types should be limited down. I think the maps. I mean, it's gonna be hard, but yeah, you just don't use some maps for some game types. I mean,
The thing, if you're going to limit anything or leave everything in, you still have to go, just base it, use your foundation off of League play. So if there's like 6 maps, if there's 6 maps that are in rotation for League play, and let's say only 4 or 3 or 4 of them would be viable for competition, then use those. But don't...
low though. We can't go low like 6 like before. We have to keep it high map count and high game types. We have to keep it high because
I'm
we
not
should
against
lose
that.
interest.
Most comp players aren't against that.
Yeah,
But
no one's against that. Yeah.
the one thing that I'm saying that I want to say, what I would think, and I said earlier, I made a mistake of saying what would be easier. What I believe would be a hell of a lot easier is if we had our backing on it and they just took care of a couple things for the competitive guys. I'm not talking about everything. I'm not talking about, I'm not even against every score streak being taken out. I'm not even against that. What I'm against is the fact that you got kids running around with robots and flying UAVs all the time. What the hell's the need for a call out?
My
Look at
thing
your radar.
is it's gonna be more a complex game now. Like you worry about getting kids that get like K9s or something. Well, now you have to focus even more, and this could actually help Diesel coaching. Diesel is gonna have to be like, hey, this guy has an 8 kill streak right now. Y'all need to fucking find him and kill him. I mean, that's just it's gonna be more of a complex.
Yeah, and then once again, a lot of people are also assuming that you're going to be having a lot of people that are getting to those high kill streak rewards. I mean, a lot of people are assuming that you're just going to let someone, get to a 7, 8, 9 kill streak, and that's going to happen consistently every single game. It might not, It obviously takes a while to get to that point. And especially with the run and gun play style that you see a lot from Call of Duty, I don't really see that being viable. I don't see that really happening all that much, and even consistently every single game.
And
you know?
and one thing is, everyone's saying the camping, it's going to promote camping, it's going to promote camping. I have been playing this whole time, and I mean, I'm not the hugest fan. I hate whenever I die from bouncing betties, and just like everyone else does. But I mean, the fact is, I do not. It's not camping. I'm not camping for a kill streak. I have Ghost on almost every class. Some of my teammates don't. I mean, the camping is going to be there no matter what. Did you see BlackOps 1? Did you watch that shit? That shit was camping, and that was no kill streaks. Did you watch MW3? That was pretty much camping. The camping is going to be there. Some teams are going to camp, some teams are not. And it's just, you're going to have a game that's going to be played faster, I believe, with kill streaks or score streaks. You're going to have some guys sitting back trying to get score streaks, but how is that going to help their team? I mean, you're going to work your ass off to get 8 kills to get your fucking major kill streak, but what happens if you die at 7? You just fucked your team by trying to get that score streak. You just fucked your team by doing that. And that's another aspect
it seems
that people don't understand.
Yeah, like what you're saying, there's a risk reward to it, and that's definitely going to be another factor that plays into how people are going to play. But without a doubt in my mind, it doesn't seem currently right now, based off what's in the game and all the features that are allowed, that it is promoting a slower pace of the game, and it doesn't seem as though it's going to promote the extreme levels of camping and these people getting those really high kill streaks, because they never die, especially with the fast-paced play that Call of Duty resembles and has been for such a long time. And as I know Brian said, especially after the Frag Cup 4 tournament comes around, I'm sure we're going to learn a lot, and that can only be something to benefit.
You said there's not people camping up, dropping mad numbers out here. Apex Talent is in the chat. Talent, with that class I told you and I set up for you in our Xbox party, will you type in the chat how many kills and how many deaths you had with that class, please? Appreciate it, bro. Anyway, I believe.
Hold on. All right, we've been on here for 2 hours now. I want to play the video game a little bit. I can't be on here for fucking 80 hours a week. Because first of all,
I have to be to work at 8 in the morning.
I don't get paid for this shit. All right,
right.
This is some pro bono community service right here. I should be able to write this off somewhere.
Damn, pro bono.
But
that's dedication.
Before we go off here, though, we will discuss it a little bit while this giveaway is going on. But we are giving away a squid grip tonight. So I will type this up in the chat, or Brian will, or someone. But you have to be following at the TheWRant. And the question is, you will also tweet it at the TheWRant too. You have to name every guest that we had on Thursday night show. The first one to get that correct will get the squid grip. Every squid grip giveaway from now on will be who were the guests on the last show. You have to be able to name them all. So if you want squid grips, you have to come by every week on the shows. Otherwise, you have no chance of winning them. I'm making these giveaways pertaining to the show so that it keeps you guys coming here, one, and second, so it's kind of it's kind of interesting to see what people have to say too on the guests that were actually on the show. So, but yes, it is who were all the guests on Thursday's show. The first one to name them, that will get the squid grip. Actually, I'll let you know how many there were too to make it easy on you. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 guests. Whoever gets this right, I mean, holy hell. This might take like
12
10
guests on the last show, man. It might take a while.
This might take like 15 minutes.
I've been seeing this fucking. I'm sorry, I had to address. I've been seeing this Haggis guy in here bashing the entire time, dude. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. Put the graphic up for me.
So preach.
Here's one thing: is this guy that keeps saying the polls. Dude, honestly, the polls were shit.
Yeah, those polls were shit. No one votes on
you're taking a thing.
The polls are based off of people that frequent that site, not the people playing the playlist.
Well, here's the thing: is there's no counter to that. There's no counter to the polls because everyone that hates it so much is going to go vote for it, and the people that don't care are just not going to even bother with it. They're not even going to bother to go vote. And also another thing is they fucking did too soon. We haven't had time to even try this out in major tournaments or anything. Why are you doing it so soon? And then also, after major tournaments, people are going to be mad. So you're never going to be able to be right with the vote. People are going to get mad about losing, and they're going to still vote. Fuck that shit. So the vote is never going to work no matter what.
obviously I'm over here and I'm saying, we'll bend but not break, but Biko and whoever the hell else is spamming this 99% say no. Like, I'm over here trying to make our point out here as far as we can bend, but we don't not in favor of the score streaks. But you guys like you are the ones that just don't make it happen, man. You gotta go about things a certain way. You can't just go out there just spamming everything. See, look at you still, man. When you guys learn, dude, that's when Call of Duty will be a better place. When you get the point.
Yeah, that's hurting this community. I mean, there should be no flaming. There should be no. This is like a real concern, honestly. I mean, I'm concerned. This could be a huge break for us. This could be a huge game for us, or this could just be another fucking normal game that we're gonna have. That's how I see it.
All right, well, Mizuno, you got 6 out of the 12, bro.
gotta get all 12, doggy.
Dude.
Even the little guys,
little guys, everybody. That's why it's
everybody.
interesting, because the little guys, not everyone's gonna remember. It's gonna be a select few.
The little guys count too.
Yeah,
and I did say this in chat.
I mean, shit,
Brian,
we got Coop on here. He's a little guy, right?
Yeah.
Diesel, make it known that the three of us do not count on this.
Anybody in this call right now?
Yeah.
All right, am I a guest on my own show? I didn't know that. Sorry.
Of course you are.
Okay.
Of course you are, good sir. You are a guest. You are the guest of honor.
All right. I guess I am in a way.
Diesel, I know you're gonna go save my picture right now. Do some nasty things afterwards.
Yo, dude, why do you gotta have like the 2 buttons down? And I don't even know what you're holding there.
Dude, I'm holding a GB trophy. Don't you see that shit?
Going balls deep.
It's a GB trophy, bro. They sent it to my house. I printed it off.
Yeah.
Whatever, bro.
But yeah, to be honest, like I hate the fucking like ban shit. I'm not ban shit. I hate the fucking bouncing betties and stuff. It's just we kind of need this break for us competitive players that have been around since COD 2.
Yeah.
This is my last game, and I hope it's gonna be a big one. And if it keeps getting bigger and bigger, then I'll stay longer and longer. But if this shit just goes back to the normal, then we're gonna slowly die out.
Yeah. I mean, if there was one last thing I'd say, I know Jared said you guys are already getting to about 2 hours in, or a little over. I guess there was just one big thing that I had left to say or whatnot. It would just be that realize that what you have been given is a blessing, and more than that, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be successful. It's an opportunity to do things all on the same page, and it's an opportunity for everyone to be not only brought together, and I guess referring to what I just said too as well, be brought on the same page, because now you have an opportunity to say, well, hey, you know what? We don't all have to fight for these rule sets that we want to do it our own way. Thank God there was a developer to come in and to lay it out for us, which should make it so much easier to just follow that yellow brick road instead of trying to branch off and make your own roads. And let's support that while we advocate for things to be changed or to be updated, which, once again, as I've said prior, as Brian and Jeremy said, Von Hari said that nerfs and buffs will potentially be put in, which is a great thing. I don't really know how much developer support there's ever been for a COD game since BlackOps2, but it seems like there's a lot. And at the end of the day, if you want your scene to grow 10 times faster, 10 times bigger than where it currently is right now, everyone needs to band together and to get on the same page, adopt league play, and advocate within league play. Don't try and create your own thing. That's only going to hurt. It's only going to separate. It's only going to diversify the scene even that much more and isolate people away from each other. That's how you create rifts, not bonds. And adopting these features that we've seen and concepts from League of Legends and Riot is doing it the right way. It's definitely doing it a better way and a bigger way. And at the end of the day, everyone has to, if there was one thing I'd say too as well, just to kind of end it out, that everyone needs to do within communities more, you got to retweet. You got to promote more. If there's tournaments going on for your scene, everyone has to do it. Retweet something that gets tweeted out about a tournament. Promote it on your Facebook. Promote it on your YouTube. Promote it wherever you can.
Talk about it while you're playing PUBG.
Exactly. Yeah, talk about it. Like for people that stream, big YouTubers or even big live streamers that do it, put links in your guys' chat. You need to promote. It can't just be, oh, well, hey, we're going to tune into this stream, but we're not going to retweet or promote it. It's so easy just to take 2.5 seconds to click a button to retweet something that is promoting.
If it takes you 2.5 seconds to click a button, frickin' get off the Twinkies.
Well, yeah, so I guess that's true. I mean, you might have to find the button. But But yeah, and I mean, those are things. I mean, honestly, that's probably that's definitely one of the biggest factors that hurts communities is not enough people support endeavors and tournaments and the scene itself through advertising, through doing something as simple as retweeting someone's tweet about, hey, here's a tournament on this day, and here's the link for where you can go, and this is what it is and how long it lasts. And that's something that definitely needs to be done a lot more, because I can tell you this much, out of all the COD tournaments I've seen, I bet you only 10%, if not maybe 1% of people actually promoted that tournament. And that's just not for Call of Duty. That could be said almost about any tournament across any game that's out there. And the more people that get involved, the bigger your scene's going to grow, and every little bit helps, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
All right,
Look at Halo.
No one's
if I
gotten
may
this
real
question
quick.
right. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. If I may, real quick, look at how Halo was. They were back against the wall. They started self-promoting with, and all the people started tweeting out these things. And then you had this Arena Gaming League come out of nowhere, had good attendance, had Dallas come out, huge numbers on their stream. So I mean, it works.
Oh man, crowd is so close.
Oh, yeah.
So close.
Well, historically, it's just been proven. You know, the thing for me is, being able to look at all these different games that I've involved myself in, I've played, I've watched, I've, just involved myself in overall and just kind of revolved around these scenes and so many different team-based shooter games and so many different team-based strategy games for different consoles that I've played and just been involved in. And, being able to look at what historically has worked and then what just hasn't really shown that it has worked yet. I would rather go with what historically has worked, and then these features that have historically worked for other games being finally put into our game. It seems like a no-brainer.
From an outsider, run, bro.
Yeah, from an outsider looking into the concept, I think it's crazy. I mean, the amount of blasphemy that goes into all these awesome opportunities that are being given right now to the CODs.
Well, what's crazy is the fact that we have all these sales and everyone buys the fucking game, but yet our community's small as fuck.
Yeah. But like I said, man, league play is going to grow it. It already is.
Well, with the EU bridge too going on right now, with the bridging with the EU guys and whatnot. Like I know a whole lot of EU players over in England, the Enigma guys, the Dignitas guys. Scruff's our new manager here at Fear. Like we're trying to get some things going. It's just like we got to find this middle ground, man, and banging it out with each other and spamming chats. That shit just ain't gonna cut it, yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of European people in here talking a lot of shit right now. Stop. You're making yourself look dumb. Look, I have mad respect for the European scene. We've shown the European scene a lot of love on this fucking show. And for you guys to come in here and act the way you are is ridiculous. Stop.
And also the people that are here that just completely just talk shit about everything, and they're just like, fuck kill streaks, score streaks. That's what GB's made, man. You can do whatever you want on there. That's you can personalize your own game there. So I mean, go play that. We don't need you in this community if you're just gonna bash everything. You're not helping. So and you can be replaceable. Yeah. There's thousands and thousands of players out there. We don't need that. We don't need that in the community. So go play GB.
Diesel and I aren't bitching, and that's money. That's money. And you guys are... Oh, man. All right.
Anyways, I'm ending it here. Before I end it, though, for you guys in here that are answering this, Koopavelli and Syndicate, not on the show. I'm giving you that hint right now, so I want to stop seeing those two guys on there because they weren't on the show. I don't know where you got
was not
that.
on the show.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that from, but Koopavelli nor Syndicate, not on the show. So I am going to end it here. A big shout out to our sponsors and partners. We got UMG Gaming at UMG Gaming. We have Squid Grip at Squid Grip and the In Control Avengers at N, the letter N, Control Avenger. They all help us out over here. They're great community supporters. I'm expecting big things from UMG this summer. I'm going to be there. All you guys should be there as well, too. Thanks for
be there as well.
Yeah, I think the whole Weekly Rant staff is going to be at UMG Chicago.
All sports.
All sports doesn't support the show. Who the fuck is all sports?
Before we dip out though, I do want to kind of do a little round table thing. I'll start with Justin. How can we get a hold of you? What's your Twitter?
For me, pretty simple. Just BossNasti, one word with an I, not a Y, because I thought that shit was gay. So.
All right, Evasive.
It's at Fear EVAZIV3.
All right, Coop.
T_Coop_7.
All right. Thank
Hold
you
on,
guys for coming on the show.
hold on. I think we have a winner here.
Dude,
Right at the very end.
It's either Crowd or the Brandon guy, but I don't know which one first. I think I
No,
got it.
Brandon doesn't have it. I'm looking at it now.
neither does Crowd.
Neither does
wait.
Crowd. Not yet.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm pretty sure Crowd has it right here. That looks like them all, doesn't it?
Hang on, let me look real quick here.
I'm almost positive.
Wait,
I don't know.
hold on. I
let's-
got my list. I'm going over it now.
Ego, Hex.
Crowd has it. Crowd is the winner.
Crowd got it. Yeah,
Crowd
Crowd
has
got it.
Good looks.
See, all it took
He checked
was
it.
that,
He checked it twice.
Good looks,
Don't-
Crowd. LOL.
Damn, dude, that dude was the guy that tried the most too. Props to you. He tried like probably 8 times, man.
Dude, there's more tweets than that from him.
Oh, is there? I don't know. I lost track, I guess. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. Crowd, DM the Weekly Rant your shipping address. I'll ship that out to you this coming week. Thanks, guys, for tuning into the show. We'll be back at you on Thursday with another great line of guests, I'm sure. So, peace out.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you, guys.
Talk to you later.
Man.
Thank you, guys.
Always a pleasure, guys.
I hate you.
Is it off now?
Dude, you gotta change that thing.
I